Australian Open. Now checking FIVEAA traffic.
G'day there, accident breakdown free today. Roads looking A-OK for the run home. Getting busy in the usual spots. Maid North Road at Enfield, South Road at Edwardstown quite sluggish, and starting to build at the moment Tapley's Hill Road at Glenelg North. We're still slow for those works. O'Halloran Hill, the Southern Expressway near Majors Road for the new on and off ramps, and a camera at Wakefield Road in the Pike Lanes today. Anaconda's end of season sale is on now. Shop club exclusive offers like 40% off clothing by Columbia, Cedarburg, Cape, Mountain Designs and O'Neill. Play more, pay less at Anaconda. Adelaide's most accurate traffic on 5AA.
Get the Toyota Forklift Advantage. Visit toyotamaterialhandling.com.au.
A shower or two and 15, partly cloudy tomorrow, also 15, partly cloudy on Friday, 15, and 15 again for Saturday. At the moment, 13. Now let's hear what's happening on 9 News tonight.
I'm Brenton Raglas. Tonight, tsunami alerts in the Pacific. Workers evacuate Japan's Fukushima nuclear plant after a major earthquake off Russia. Diabetes warning. The study that's found artificial sweeteners could do more harm than good. And credit card reward points alert. What you need to do now before the perks dry up. 9 News. Your news. Night at 6 on 9 and on 9 now.
The news and issues that matter to South Australia. Always Adelaide. This is 5AA. The 5AA Sports Show. Rowey.
I am flabbergasted.
And Timmy G.
Absolute sports festival. Yeah, good afternoon. 5 after 4 on this Wednesday. We've finally hit the midweek. Hopefully it's a bit better than a Tuesday, said Rowey. And lots in sport to get excited about as we approach round 21 tomorrow night. Rowey, Timmy G, good afternoon to you.
Well, there's only 4 games left, Sammy, to the AFL season. 9 teams fighting for final spots. The other 9 booking their Mad Monday dress-ups and European vacations. Now, I know which I'd rather be, having not been in finals for 8 long seasons, this being the 8th. Timmy, welcome.
Thank you, Stephen. I know you're going to delve deep into, obviously, September and how exciting that is for yourself and for your football club, the Adelaide Football Club. Before I do, I've got something for you, and I'm not sure if you've received one of these, but it's the walk in a mile in my boots beanie for the Hutt Street Centre.
Yeah,
so
you've done
that walk a few times. I know I haven't. I love it, but there's something inside it for you, mate.
I think I know what this might be. Well done, son.
There it
is. And Uncle Willie's Port.
Ceremonial gifting.
Tawny Port, fortified, 20 years. There it is. I'll hold it up to the...
Yeah, you can't say.
So you're a man of your word. So we had a bet on Friday.
On you, Timmy.
And it was just straight up and down. There wasn't meant to be a margin. And Timmy said, no, you've got to give me a margin. We've got 8 players out. And I said, mate, who cares? It's a showdown. They're that close. He said, no, give me a margin. So pressed, I said 60 points.
Which I thought I was very comfortable
and you
in.
could not.
I thought, beauty, I've got myself an Uncle Willie's.
Yeah, because you don't throw them away.
Well, I was short of one, and I thought I need to reorder one, and I thought, why bother? I'll get one off of you.
Well, I was a bit disappointed I didn't say for 2 bottles 100 points.
Oh, you would now.
And then I would have been 2 points off. But anyway.
Still, well done.
Thank you, Timmy. I will. Should we crack it open in the studio?
Yeah, it'll be a good show.
I'll tell you what, that does me nicely, that one. Thank you, mate. Crows are playing with a confidence and hunger. There's no question. They're the form team of the comp, playing unbelievable footy, and it's not lost on Matty Nix.
You do want to hit the finals at your best, so we're trying to work through that at the moment. Can we hang on for another month and still be able to perform for another 4 or 5 weeks after that? At the moment, it's just let's keep going, keep the momentum. We've been able to manage a few players through the last few weeks, but we'll keep looking at that as we go without flirting with, I guess the win-loss part of it.
Timmy, you're our show's Mr. September. Can you peak too early?
Yeah, peaking too early is an interesting point, and I've seen many a team perhaps feel like that. But you look at Geelong, and this is in recent times, Geelong 22, they just kept winning. Everybody said, they'll drop one in the minute. They have to drop one. They should drop one. No, they didn't. They just kept going and kept winning. And I think...
They did rest players. They
managed players because they had so many wins in the bank. But remember, they had a lot of older players than you guys have.
They did.
You guys have an extremely young list compared to theirs. So your balance at the moment, you've been able to use a lot of players without having the injury list.
Yeah.
So your depth is pretty good, Nick, considering you've got a 3 or 4 injury list. So I actually don't think... I think your best challenge now is playing these better teams at home and being able to get, if you can get those wins in the bank, that gives you real confidence going to September. So
that's more important.
You just got to be on the up as far as your, you spoke about the morale of the troops.
Yeah.
The morale of the troops has got to be on the up come September.
So how important then is timing your run into and including September? And I think it's dictated to by the health of your list.
Yeah.
Surely that's the number one thing.
I think that's number one.
Number one.
The other thing is just having confidence and momentum. Yeah. Got both those at the moment. Yeah. And you heard Nixie there. Just got to keep that going.
Yep.
It doesn't have to be redlining, but it's just got to keep going with the confidence and momentum.
That's it.
And, if you win the games and you're winning by 3 to 4 goals, that's not a bad thing come September because you're fighting hard for them.
Yeah, especially if you finish top 2 and you've got 2 home finals. Now, Taylor Walker on the M's, he knows what success looks like. He also knows what a wooden spoon feels like. He's focused as any and as important as any player, I think, with his experience running into September.
I think the beauty of why we're playing good footy is we just continue to understand exactly what our roles are within the team, and we just keep playing them as best we can. And if you look across the team at the moment, we've just got guys doing the simple things really, really well, and it just makes everyone else around them play better footy.
So, Mr. September, I've just been handed a note, 33 finals, 22 wins, 3-time
I told you that personally.
In confidence.
In confidence.
No,
How dare you?
You didn't say it.
How dare you announce
Your
that?
record is freaking outstanding.
Well, I had a good era and a lot of good players and a lot of good coaches around me, so I was very fortunate.
Jack,
exactly.
We all know that. But Tex is super important. So I'm going to ask you this. Tell me how important, Mr. September, experience is and how much does it account for? Because I've got some stats here, some Scotty Campriali stats here.
It does. It benefits you if you've got it. Yeah. And it doesn't.
You'd rather have it than not have it.
Correct. But it doesn't guarantee you anything.
No, it doesn't.
So I've been when you finally break the ice, and I remember having this conversation with Rick McGowan. I rang him to wish him all the best in the 2000 grand final, and he said, "I'm not having any of that, Timmy. You tell me how you win it. That's what I want to know." And
you don't wish me the best.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And of course, they went on to win that one, and it was about breaking the ice. So you have the confidence and the belief that you've won. So I think in this scenario, there's always a first time.
Yeah.
And that's what I think. If you're in the inexperienced box, that's what you've got to keep saying to yourself. There's always the first time, and this has got to be the first time.
Yeah. The Crows are seeking to become the first premiership side after a 7-year finals hiatus. And the last time it happened was Parkin back in 71 from Hawthorn. So
wow.
Brisbane Lions have 320 games experience, Geelong and X 307, Collingwood 274, GWS 196. Now, if you'd have said me who's the most experienced, I'd have had those 4 probably nearly in that order. Western Bulldogs 151, Freo 86. The Crows go all the way down to 53. They've got 8 players that have had finals experience. So 8, you play with 23. Matt Crouch, Tex, Laird, Smith, Cumming, Peatling, Dawson, and Alex Neil-Bullen's the only one that's actually won a flag. So does it matter? I reckon it does.
There's a lot to be said about getting experience, and that's the thing that what you've lacked is previous year's finals appearances, so that you know what you're sort of coming in for. There's probably a lot of names there that'll be coming into their first finals experience.
So stage fright's the thing that coaches worry about. A deer in headlight is what people worry about. Being on the big stage, the Crows did in 2017. We got Rory Sloane on at 4:30. I mean, did they freeze? Were they deer in headlights? Were they like startled rabbits? The opposition team made them look like that.
They had 2 home finals, which, you don't know whether that was good or bad.
Yeah. Well,
in the build-up, do you?
Well, it's bad.
In the end, you can assess that perhaps it was bad and you would have liked to have maybe won one away and then go in, but you can't pick and choose. It is what it is, and and you just got to take advantage of whatever is in front of you. I always say, if the door's there, you've got to walk through it.
Yeah. Finals experience for those that are out there that have played, how important is it to you and the Crows? 822 300 00. Port, is it chairman or president, Koshy?
They're called chairman.
Chairman, okay. He was on with the 5AA Brekkie team, David and Will. He's bloody good on there. Now, after the round 1 Collingwood flogging by 91 points, he had this to say.
The performance on the weekend, which was terrible, it was embarrassing, it was disappointing, and better not flaming happen again.
Well, that was then. This is now. After the Crows showdown 58-point flogging by 98 points, he had this to say today.
It was Disappointing is putting it kindly, and they better respond appropriately this coming weekend and finish the year off a whole lot better than they did on Saturday night.
So it sounds like idle threats to me. I'll get your comment on it. But what damage, if any, can this finish to a season do for Josh, do for the players, morale of the troops, I call it? Or is there a realisation, there certainly is from Koshy and the board, that this may be just an outrighter season, 2025, put a line through it, mate, we've had injuries? That's what that sounded like to me. What did it sound like to you?
Yeah, your first comment probably fair. It sounded like a parent that's telling a toddler off, but then not actually having any consequences to the actions.
Yeah.
So the toddler does it again. So that's
well,
what
you could have cut and
like.
pasted both of them together.
Correct, you could have, and that top and tailed just exactly where we're at. So, so for that, for me, and that's probably one of the issues of coming on every week with our breakfast team is you're going to get that. But I think from your other point, how much damage? Look, I think
only time will tell. Well, you've got Geelong this week in Geelong. What's a pass mark for that?
Oh, just be competitive and don't get absolutely slaughtered.
Okay.
And that's the thing about it at the moment is we're frightened that we're going to get opened up and slaughtered because it's happened on 4 occasions this year. Don't want it to be a 5th, but you do get nervous with Bergman going in as well for surgery and the like. So, look, I still think there's an opportunity for Josh Carter wipe the slate clean for pre-season going into 26.
Okay. Marshall, Redigalia, Sampower, Pepper, Horn Francis, Cochrane would have played, Vicentini, Burton now, Bergman, possibly Luco, and your skipper's got a broken hand. Miles Bergman out for the season.
It's a long list, isn't it?
That's too big, mate.
It's too big a list.
That's too big.
Not a lot of that. A lot of that is collision or, injuries that you can't avoid.
We'll have a review. You'll work out
really
whether it's your PPT.
It's a lot of that for my soft tissue. There's not much there, is there? There's one hammy, I think.
That's it. Unique home-style food text came through straight away then. Only 2 seasons in Port Adelaide's AFL history with 4+ losses over 75 points. 2011 under Matty Primus and 2025 this year.
Yeah, and that's probably shown that it hasn't been a great year.
Okay.
And it was a year that was probably always going to be up against it. None of us liked the way it began.
No. God. Anyway, 822 300 You don't like talking about it, I know. It hurts you, mate. Hey, this might put a smile on your face. Greg Swan is the new footy boss. I'm calling him the change agent. Here's what he said about the stand rule.
A stand is a stand. You can't run off.
Here's what he said about the centre bounce.
I don't like to bounce. I don't see why the umpires need a party trick, which is to bounce it.
Love it. Here's what he said about holding the ball.
It is a discussion piece, but it's a difficult rule to get 100% right.
Yeah, Swanning's from Clubland. He's a no-nonsense footy man. You can hear there, bang, we don't need party tricks. Loves the game. I think he's in tune with what we would call social pressures, but I think he's more in tune with he wants to protect them. I've been saying this for a while, the fabric of the game. He's off to a solid start. I'm team G Swan.
There's a lot of...
I've got a lot of hope that he will just...
There's a lot of straight talk, common sense in it, isn't there?
But that's what you want.
And sometimes I remember talking to people about great administrators of the past and the like. I said, and somebody said, they were a bit harsh and all right. But you know what? They knew what they wanted. They stood by it. And I think Demetrio sort of sits in this. He was very gruff in the way he went about his stuff. At times I didn't like him. I thought he was a bit too hard, a bit too arrogant and dismissive of a lot of topics, especially when it came to our state. But I reckon at least you knew where you stood with him and he made the decision and rode with it. I like that style. Yeah. I think Greg's got a bit more of that in him. Because honestly, at the moment, from Laura and from Andrew, I'm listening for the answer. When the question's asked, I'm piercing my ears to try and get an answer out of it. What is it?
Yeah, I like that.
Is it this or is it that?
Yeah. Another great text. This is the best question we've had through this year. This is from Dirk Hartog. He was a really good explorer. Is there a difference? Well, wasn't he? Wasn't he an explorer?
I'm sure he texts us every night.
I call him Dirk Hartog. His surname's Overton. He probably didn't want that out. Is there a difference between a succession plan and a caretaker coach? Now, that is a bloody good question. So how much of the reins has Josh had? behind the scenes that we'd never know?
Yeah.
None?
We
Or
don't.
he's just still the midfield coach? So is this all on Cam? Is it on
And that,
Josh?
unfortunately, was being filtered through the whole year. Everybody was asking all the time.
That's what Dirk Hartog's saying. Well, what's the bloody point? He's basically been a caretaker coach.
What was the point
for
of
Josh next year?
What was the...
What an absolute great question, Dirk. That is a ripper. 822 300 Port supporters, do you want to get on board with that one? And Crows, does experience account for anything this finals campaign? I'm saying no. And the reason I'm saying no is it's a big hopefully no.
Just fingers crossing for September
No
success.
science in that.
Hey, some news just breaking in the last 15 minutes from the Adelaide Thunderbirds, and we'll speak to a retired Premiership captain, Hannah Petty, tonight on the program. A teammate of hers, Romelda Aiken-George, has also called time on her 18-year career and 4 premierships alongside.
Yeah, I reckon I had an inkling that they had to talk her into this season. So... it's probably no surprise. Hannah was a surprise to me, I've got to say.
She's only played for 10 years.
Yeah, but she's
28.
Prime of your career.
Oh, I'm going to say that to her after 6.
We have
Hannah,
to.
your best 4 years are to come.
Can we talk you out of it? We gave you a rap last week.
and we love comebacks.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So that's all to come. Rory Sloane's at 4:30. Jimmy Bartell's on tonight. Where are they now as well? And your calls, 8223 0000, $50 powers voucher up for grabs.
Rowey and Timmy G on the 5AA Sports Show.
This week is Buy SA Week, and here at 5AA, we're celebrating the best of our local produce and experiences.
All week on 5AA Breakfast, we'll be chatting with the local legends behind your favourite SA brands and giving you the chance to win each morning. From everyday essentials to incredible experiences, we're spotlighting the businesses that make our state great.
It's all thanks to Brand SA. Support local and buy SA for SA. Look for the state logo on products during your next shop.
If you eat too much junk food or drink too many sugary drinks, toxic fat can build up around your vital organs, releasing dangerous levels of chemicals that bring heart disease, type 2 diabetes, and cancer closer. When you think of toxic fat around your vital organs, making some small changes like eating less junk food or drinking less sugary drinks is no big deal. Visit sa.livelighter.com.au today. A message from the Government of South Australia.
Hi, I'm Dr. Laura Willington. Understaffing in our hospitals is harming you and me. We urgently need a workforce plan to identify the right number of doctors for each of our hospitals and health services. And we need fair wages and conditions to attract and keep doctors so you can access care when you need it. Help make our health system safer for you and safer for me. Visit safermedicalstaffing.com.au. Authorised by Dr. Laura Willington, President, South Australian Salaried Medical Officers Association, Adelaide.
You wake up and you're feeling a bit off. Your nose is runny, but maybe it's just a cold. That scratchy throat, though, that could be something worse.
Test for COVID, Flu A, Flu B and RSV in just minutes with Cell Life, the premium 4-in-1 rapid antigen test. Fast, reliable results. Make the smart choice for your health and your family. Insist on the brand the healthcare professionals prefer. Cell Life at leading chemists and Amazon. CELLIFE.
Things are heating up at Adelaide's largest selection for wood, gas and electric fireplaces. The home of fire. Yep, if you haven't visited yet, get down to 126 McGill Road Norwood, and I'll tell you, you will be absolutely blown away and impressed. I loved it there. And I'll tell you what, an outdoor kitchen would be very handy too. Look, you and I went out there. It's simply a must-see for yourself, isn't it?
Well, it is, and I think everyone can afford an outdoor kitchen now. I mean, it's not a luxury item, it's a necessity.
It's sort of like just building around your barbie.
Oh, isn't it?
Putting in
basically
the old bar fridge and new beauty.
Well, you used to get scared by it because it was this massive thing that rich people had. But no. You go to the home of fire. Seriously, if you're building, renovating, extending, or even just planning to update your heating, now's the time to check them out. The Home of Fire has huge savings with a massive range of fireplaces, wood, gas, electric, log fires, up to 50% off. And while you're there, check out their stunning outdoor kitchen display. You go straight through all the wood fires, you turn right, and there it is. It's like...
If you can get past the wood fires. I mean, I was mesmerised by them. I just kept looking in. Nothing like looking at fire. It's sensational. What's better than watching the footy on a cold night next to a warm fire or cooking up a feast in your new outdoor kitchen? nothing. Check out the home of fire, 126 McGill Road, Norwood.
At SEW Eurodrive, we keep Australian industry moving with innovative drive technologies and unmatched service. Our 24-hour emergency breakdown service minimises downtime to maintain productivity.
Save up to $4,000 per suite on luxurious Kimberley expeditions with Silver Sea and Phil Hoffman Travel. Cruise for 10 days in all-inclusive luxury aboard Silver Sea's Silver Cloud. Sailing from Broom's stunning beaches to Darwin's tropical shores, the awe-inspiring horizontal falls and the untouched beauty of Ashmore Reef. Cruise departs 24th of July 2026. Book now to enjoy up to $300 exclusive onboard credit with the Platinum Cruise Club. Visit pht.com.au.
Rowey and Timmy G, the 5AA Sports Show.
It's 24 minutes after 4. The question around the Adelaide Crows is, do they have enough experience in them in finals to make a dent? Rory Sloane is going to join us at 4:30 to answer that question. You might have an answer to that too. 8223 0000. Let's check out traffic first. For Rossdale Homes, SA's most trusted, custom design, fixed pricing, and a total peace of mind, because trust is a must.
G'day there at Mawson Lakes. A crash the Salisbury Highway to the Elder Smith Road exit causing delays. Getting quite busy South Road through Mile End for the drive home. Quite sluggish Brighton Road, Glenelg East. And look out for works at St Peters. They're also slow this hour though. Paynham Road near Winchester Street. Cameras My Road, Lonsdale and Roy Terrace at Christie's Beach. Get a complimentary entree size piping hot butternut pumpkin soup added to your dine-in order at Faster Pasta, but only for a limited time. T's and C's apply. Adelaide's most accurate traffic on 5AA.
Hello there, Tim at Torrensville.
G'day, gentlemen. I hope you're both well.
Same to you.
Thank you. Before I make my point, Timmy G, can you stick to Mr. September so I can go back using the Timmy G without feeling like a fraud? That would be good.
My pleasure, Tim.
Hey, boys, just in relation to the experience in finals time, I don't think it's AFL, just AFL, I should say. You mentioned Ricky McGowan earlier on and that wonderful time that we had from 2000 to 2012. A lot of so-called experts ruled us completely out. Sorry, boys, I'm just trying to back into a car park.
Talented.
I can't walk and chew gum at the same time. You're doing well, Tim.
So look, I guess the point I'm trying to make there is we were written off as a footy club probably the last 5 or 6 grand finals that we appeared in because we were too old, we were too slow. But you know what? What got us over the line in most of those? All right, we were probably too old and too slow, but it was the experience. And it was above the shoulders. And as we all know, with big sporting events or anything of that nature, the majority of it's above the shoulders. So
of course it is.
Go back and have a look at what happened last year and learn from it. You're always going to be in front, in my opinion. So as much as I want the Crows to get up, I think it's going to take more than just one fluke year, unlike the Western Bulldogs in 2016.
Yeah, no, Tim, it's a good point. I think it's the only question. The coaches would be nervous about it. So would players. They got the game, they got the style. I think it'll stand up under finals-like pressure. But again, you don't want to be a deer in headlights. And I'd address it. I'd say, fellas, we're going to be there.
Well,
let's address it.
Tim makes a good point about the 2016 Bulldogs in the AFL. I mean, they wouldn't have had a lot of experience.
No, came from 7th.
Went through the whole
from
final
elimination
series.
Final.
Had to win every final.
They did and won it. Brett, how are you?
G'day, boys. How you going?
Hey, Brett.
Look, Timmy, I'd like to ask you, in 89 when you played North, North, you won the premiership the year before, but North clearly had the more finals experience than your group at the time.
Yeah, that was good too.
Played in the 3 grand finals before that and plenty of finals attached to that as well. And you guys smashed North in that 89 grand final. They didn't even have a whimper. Kicked the goal, first goal after half time, I believe. I don't know because I left at half time.
Yeah.
There you go. But look, and the other one as well. Look at the Bombers in '93. The Baby Bombers, they were called.
Baby Bombers.
They took Carlton on and they smashed Carlton.
Yes.
So I believe, like I said, look, I think Crows are playing good enough football now. I think that's going to take them into the finals, and I think they're going to be all right.
I'm with you, Brett. I cannot wait. Let's get through this
Well
week.
said, Brett. Well said.
Hawthorn Friday night. Ooh.
Let's go to Parrotfield Gardens. Kerry, what's your thoughts?
Hi guys, how you going? I actually think that the Crows will win the premiership this year, and the reason why is I think there's 2 main parts of just they are like dominating contested possessions, their first intercepts and ground ball gets. contested marks and intercept marks. But on top of that, mentally, which is the other part that plays a huge role in the game, it doesn't matter about how old you are or how much experience you've got if you believe you can do it. And I think you can see them believing. And when you watch them play, it's the first time I've seen the Crows in the last 10 years where they're happy for the other person to kick the goal. They're mentally excited as a team. They're really playing together as a team. And if that continues, I mean, that's why they have, so many people playing. I think there's about 5 or 6 that are above 25 goals this year so far, They sit inside the top 2 with 4 rounds to go, and I say go Crows.
Very good call, Kerry. I think Kerry's a bit like me, cut from my loaf. She's lifted the lid. She's a believer. Kerry is a believer. And why would she not be?
Well, nothing
Numbers
wrong with being
don't lie.
positive.
Numbers do not lie. Thanks, Kerry.
Brought a bit of Coach's Corner action there as well, Kerry. Nice work with your numbers. It's 29
Very
after
nice.
4. Rory Sloane's going to give us more insights next after the headlines.
The 5AA Sports Show with Rowey and Timmy G.
We've talked at length on this program about the lack of traction the algal bloom has gotten in the eastern states.
David Penberthy and Will Goodings.
But it's not struggling to get traction around the world. Have a listen to this. This is CNN in the United States.
Experts call it one of the worst marine disasters in living memory.
Adelaide's leading breakfast show.
It's not only impacting sea species, but also the people on land who depend on the sea for their livelihood.
5AA Breakfast.
This is a tragedy of global importance.
Weekdays from 6 a.m. on 5AA. Always Adelaide. This is 5AA News. Always Adelaide.
Good afternoon, I'm Kendall Brettig. SA Police say they're winning the war on shoplifting in Rundle Mall with a special operation seeing a 7% drop in thefts. Loved ones of a 95-year-old woman fatally tasered at a New South Wales nursing home say they're struggling with the fact the former police officer won't serve any time in jail. The chance of an interest rate cut has improved after Australia's inflation rate dropped to its lowest level in 4 years. And Thunderbirds goalie Romelda Aiken-George has announced her retirement. Now checking 5AA traffic.
Afternoon, and Mawson Lakes a crash on the Salisbury Highway to the Elder Smith Road exit. Got quite big delays outbound through there at the moment. Also got delays at South Plimpton for those ongoing intersection works on Marion Road and Anzac Highway. Got road plates in use there, so she's pretty bumpy and she's pretty slow. Taplings Hill Road, Glenelg North. Camera this afternoon, Fitzroy Terrace, North Adelaide. Woolworths spring water bottles, 600ml 24 pack was $9.50, now just $8. Lowest shelf prices on hundreds of products from Woolworths. While stocks last, may not be available at all stores or online. Adelaide's most accurate traffic on 5AA.
Partly cloudy and 15 tomorrow, at the moment 13. More news at 5 o'clock on 5AA, always Adelaide.
Direct from sellout tours across the world, the Simon and Garfunkel story returns to Australia. Featuring all their classic hits in a moving and powerful show.
Within the sound of silence.
Don't miss the Simon and Garfunkel story. 2 shows, 3 p.m. and 7 p.m, Norwood Concert Hall. Wednesday, August 20. Book now at Ticketek.
Baby on board sticker, Play-Doh under his nails, random rubber duck in his pocket. Mark's not exactly what you picture when I say property investor. But all that changed the day he did a quick online equity check with Westpac. And would you believe it? He had enough in his current home for a deposit on another one. And you might too. Search Westpac Equity Calculator today to find out if an investment property is something you're already ready for. Conditions, credit criteria, fees and charges apply.
Your daily cup of OTR just got a whole lot richer. Buy NEC coffee for a chance to win $1,000 daily when you scan the OTR app. In September 2, T's and C's apply. SAT 25/835. OTR. Serving up seriously good coffee.
Start your journey with a Mercedes-Benz SUV. Enjoy savings from $10,000 on select GLE and GLS models with complimentary delivery fee across the SUV range. Visit Mercedes-Benz Adelaide and Unley today. Terms and conditions apply.
Last month, we serviced around 11,000 vehicles, more than 1,500 Fords, 1,200 Holdens, 1,000 Subarus, 800 Isuzus, MGs, BMWs, Mercs, Audis. That's right, over 11,000 people trusted us with their pride and joy. Automasters, isn't it time for you to switch and save? Call 1300 Automasters or book online. All centres offer repair now, pay later options. So switch and save with Automasters. Great service, guaranteed.
Things are heating up at Adelaide's largest selection of fireplaces, the Home of Fire. Get up to 50% off wood, gas and electric heating and check out their outdoor kitchens.
Home of Fire, for all your flaming needs.
The Home of Fire, 126 McGill Road, Norwood.
In your heaviest moments, the women of White Lady Funerals are here to unburden you and your family. Wherever you are, whatever you need, know that you can share in our strength. White Lady Funerals. Let our strength help you find yours.
The 5AA Sports Show with Rowey and Timmy G.
This is a premiership model, and we're going to get to... I've had 3 clubs in my premiership mix this year. It's been Collingwood, Brisbane and Geelong. Yeah. I now have this... You're adding them? Yeah, I'm adding them. Yeah, it's the first time I've added a side all year. I don't do that lightly, but I think they're fully capable of winning this premiership.
Well, that's the thoughts of Matthew Lloyd at 26 minutes to 5. Jimmy Bartell will get his thoughts after 5 o'clock, and our next guest.
Well, Crows are second on the ladder. They've won more quarters than any team, have the top 2 defence, the top 2 attack. That's by the numbers. Smash Port in Showdown 58. We cannot wait for Friday night's game versus the Hawks. Joining us is former Crows star skipper, everyone's favourite. He's now Channel 9's Rory Sloane. Rory, welcome.
Thanks, boys. Thanks for having me.
Thanks for your time. Now, I'm declaring it. You just heard, who was that, Lordo? He's declared it.
Yeah.
Most of your colleagues across the border have declared the Crows can win the flag. What about you?
Yeah, I think they absolutely can, especially if they finish these last 4 games, how they should, really. I mean, they've got to beat either Hawthorn or Collingwood, I think, to give them, 1, a bit of confidence to come into finals, but 2, if they win one of those games, they'll land a top 2 spot. And I think with a double home game advantage, possibly playing 2 home games in finals, we'll get them into the grand final. And then, I mean, once they're in there, it depends on a whole range of things. But I think they've got I think between them and Brisbane, they're the most well-balanced side at the moment. And as you mentioned before, they're number 2 in offence, number 2 in defence. But for me, it's their contest. And people call it the no-name backline, but the midfield group, they just roll their sleeves up and get it done. They don't need large possessions. They play the game the right way. I think they work hard both ways, and that's what I love about this group.
I want to go back, and we'll get back to this point, but one of the reasons we wanted to have a chat to you, last year the club finished 15th, and whenever we talked to you, you were so positive. You said, mate, we're on the right path. We've had injuries, not that you ever used it as an excuse. We're on the right track. You wait to get the organic growth out of these blokes. You're mentioning Worrell and Riley O'Brien and all these people, and they have had that year that you predicted they would have. You were always so positive and confident about this group, Rory.
Yeah, absolutely. I think, and like last year's injuries were, it's just a reason. I mean, it's never an excuse, but it is a legitimate reason to why teams can't perform and can't have that sustained season that they want to. And last year, just way too many people out. I reckon 7 or 8 of our starting 15 were out. And I mean, you see what sort of year Riley Thilthorpe's had and how the boys structure up around him. But everyone keeps asking me, what's changed? What's changed this year? What has Nixie done? And nothing much has changed really structurally or with their game plan. It's just, as you said before, the growth they've had internally. Sam Berry, Jake Saligo, over 50 games now. Riley Thilthorpe, over 50 games. James Peatling, now over 50 games. These guys are now hardened AFL athletes, and they've got hardened bodies. And they've set an incredible standard in the gym for a lot of years. And this is the reason why they break so many tackles. And this is the reason they play such strong footy at the moment, because they're hardened now and they're seasoned footballers. And the game plan hasn't changed. They're still playing the same well-balanced game plan that Nixie's always wanted to prepare the club for. It's a finals-like game style, and now they've got the troops to do it.
Well, they have. Murray Davis, they added. Do you see a likeness with the numbers to how Brisbane play?
Yeah, similar. I mean, one thing Nixie's always sort of held above everything else was the contest and defence part of the game. Like, game starts in the contest, so you've got to be good in that area. You've got to be strong in that area. as I said before, like some of these kids now that have played over 50, between 50 and 100 games, we're starting to see them look like hardened AFL midfielders and hardened AFL players. The defence part, like Nixie's always been massive on and always been strong on, and it's just clicked now. That back line obviously heads it up, but it obviously comes off the back of the forward line pressure and the midfield pressure too to get those slided kicks in. And then the offence. I mean, I think they're just so well balanced, and that's probably what I mean when I liken them to Brisbane. They play the game, they defend hard, they've got a great midfield that cracks into the contest, but then the way they've got multiple avenues of scoring, and they can go slow, they can play a contest style, they can take the game on and switch and go around teams as well. So they certainly look to use multiple options.
Hey, Rory, the build-up, is it similar to 2017? Say you win another couple, you get a top two chance, and you got obviously the opportunity to play two finals at home. Do you feel like it's a similar build-up to the one you had in 2017?
Probably I'd go back to 2012, I reckon. The group's probably more at that sort of age demo, the 2012 group we had. Yeah, young crew coming through that's about to, really have a long period of, I suppose, sustained success at that footy club with a couple of, and that's what we had: Michael Dowdy, Graham Johncock, Scott Thompson, Nathan Van Burl, and the group's still got enough senior players there with Lairdy Tex, Big Rolly O'Brien,
Brody Smith
as well. Yep, and Brody Smith. So that's why these guys are so important, because 2012 we almost snuck one, and I feel like this group is definitely capable of probably sneaking one a little bit earlier than they maybe should. But again, like if you've got the leaders around you and a couple of guys that have been there before in finals and know what it's like when things either going well or going not so well in finals, and you can learn from that too. And that's the type of learnings I think Smitty, Lairdy, Tex will be sharing.
Which forward line's more potent, 17 or 25?
Oh, no, 17 have done it. They did it for a longer period, but this one right now, give them a couple of years and they'll overtake us pretty soon. That 17 team.
I had Betts and Cameron were the smalls, Tex, Lynch and JJ.
And then we like Douglas, probably Douglas. Sloane. A few boys went through that half forward line too.
Goodness me.
But no, this one's so potent at the moment too. I mean, and for those big boys to play so well in the wet, all three of them. But it was incredible. But it's just the balance they've got there at the moment. There's so many different avenues. 2 goals. Keezy could have kicked a handful on the weekend, but and this is probably the most pleasing thing, catching up with a few boys and hearing the way they're talking, like even and how ruthless they were on the weekend. There was no selfishness, I suppose, in those 450 stoppages. Everyone's still playing their role. No one just wanted to get a lick. It was just team footy that was probably the most pleasing.
Channel 9's Rory Sloane, our guest. Now you're out, obviously, because of your eye. You retired at the end of last year. Is it bittersweet for you watching this group fly? Do you think, oh, God, if only my retina was all right?
No, like I'll push my body to its limit. It's so much more sweet than it is bitter. Like I probably the last 2 weeks got a little bit jealous, and I think that was due to the conditions on last Saturday night being a sloppy, wet game. I'm like, I love those conditions, but really only the last 2 weeks I've felt a little bit jealous. But for me, it was always about just move on. I had a ripping stint there at the footy club.
Didn't you?
It's now these guys' turn, and I'll be there to support them off field, but. It is it's very, very enjoyable to watch, and this is what we've wanted for so long, right? Seeing some of the fans in the stadium on the weekend was just the joy in their faces. That's what footy's about.
Yeah, you were always so bloody bullish. We used to have arguments about it, and I'd say, get him out, threw the chairs around the office. You said, Rowey, mate, I'm living it. I know they're on the right path, and that's been great. And I think that's one thing Murray Davis has brought in. He's just reconfirmed from a premiership environment to Nixie, hey, fellas, you're on the right path. So do you feel experience will add a bit? I don't want to see us get to the big stage and feel like we could possibly be a deer in headlights, so get stage fright, Rory.
No, and from all I'm hearing, right, and what we hear in the media, it's like they're literally, and they're living by this. I caught up with Dorse the other week. I'm like, so you're thinking about it basically at all? He's like, mate, not thinking about it. Don't even talk to me about it. Not thinking about finals. It's like week on week. Let's just keep doing our job. And honestly, it's everything they're doing behind the scenes too with leadership stuff and some of the people that have come through the club. It's all about preparing for this finals campaign. But what that group's doing at the moment is trying to enjoy that time together and just enjoy those moments. And if they can carry that into finals too, even when things are going poorly, like put a smile on your face, because that's certainly, when I reflect back at the 17 grand final at halftime, our group just lost a bit of the joy. I think in footy at halftime, we were normally up by 50 points by that stage, but if I could change anything, it's sort of that halftime of that year, it would have been like, all right, make sure everyone just realises that footy's fun, keep enjoying it, and that's what this group's got to do for that whole final series, is play this type of footy, do it together, and they'll enjoy it.
Enjoying what you do now, you do the obviously the Sunday morning footy show on 9, Footy Classified, I think it was last night
Tuesday
you're on
night.
there, so enjoying that. And what's your routine? Do you have to fly out the morning of? You're still living in Adelaide, aren't you?
Yeah, still living in Adelaide, yep. No, I just spent a bit of time on some aeroplanes, but no, I'm loving working with Channel 9 and the Wide World Sports team. The footy show has been unbelievable. Like, that's just a ripping crew to be able to learn off, and they've obviously been pretty settled, that group, for so long.
Yeah.
But they've all been so welcoming, and, to learn off those 4 guys in particular has been enormous, as well as all the crew that put it together. But, and then the classified group as well, to be able to sit there and work with Ed, Hurdy and Tommy Morris. Again, I feel pretty lucky to have slid into a couple of these roles to be able to learn off all these guys, because Matty Lloyd's knowledge, Damo's insights, are just unbelievable. And you got TJ's experience as well, mixed with Brownie. And again, those two played perfect role together. But it's been a lot of fun. So, we're certainly enjoying the next day of footy.
Not as much fun as playing, is it, sitting in the cheap seats?
Not at all. It never will be, and that's what you got to realise. I think
impossible.
That's where people struggle. You go, nothing will ever quite be as good as what I had for 16 years. That part of life was incredible, and that's one of the best jobs you could possibly ever have in the world. So nothing's going to compare to that. But then it's move on and go get busy and go and enjoy the rest of what you're doing, and I certainly am.
You've got a most beautiful family. Now, how is that eye, Rory?
Yeah, great. I had a check-up about 2 or 3 weeks ago. It's all looking good at the moment. So, that's probably a yearly or half-yearly thing for me. Just keep track of the eyes. But no, all's going well.
And you've got to balance the family sort of life, because the lovely Belinda is filling in on breakfast radio
with Bernie, isn't she?
With Bernie Vince, so what's happening? That's a balancing act for you, mate.
Yeah, I'm on daddy daycare duties in the morning, so there's been a couple of mornings sprinting out of the house trying to get everyone to school on time, but that's I'm enjoying that too. But Belinda's very good at talking shit, and her and Bernie do a great job of that together.
That'll get back.
Don't you say that about Bill, mate. Do not say that.
She's been airing my dirty laundry at the moment most mornings on SAFM, so
chance
that's
to get her
all
back.
Right. I'll get it back at some point, but no, she's loving it. She's doing a great job, and like in all seriousness, she's always been so comfortable, whether it be in front of the camera or behind a mic. Normally she's singing behind the mic, so her talking is just as easy. But they're doing a ripping job, those two. So enjoying that.
Very popular team. Hey, just before you go, your skinnies, have you put on any? Have you got a bullnose veranda over the tool shed? Have you fattened up?
Not that I've seen.
I don't think so.
No.
Serious? I've always been big on, I need to run and keep fit and healthy.
Okay.
And get
Bloke like him would take
I did. My back went on me the other day, and I really felt like an old man. It kept me from doing much for about a week, and I was like,
join the club,
I don't
mate.
be dealing with a sore back the rest of my life.
It's not good, Rory. It's not good. That's no upside for you.
Well, you played ferociously, but you'll be right, mate. Ice Barnes will do it. Rory, mate, enjoy this group's development, because I reckon you had a fair part of it, and you'd get a lot of joy. I know I left before the Crows won those 2 flags, and to see the Roo and the Ben Harts and the Goodies and all those young kids that you're a part of get that ultimate success, it's just as good, and let's hope it is this year for you, mate. As always, thanks for your time.
No worries, guys. Yeah, it is. Get around them, because they're a ripping bunch of lads. They've been setting a high bar for a long time. Yeah. They've been working hard, and I'm going to enjoy seeing them get a bit of reward for it now too.
Well done. Keep up the great work on Channel 9.
Good to talk, Rory.
Great work.
Thanks, guys. Cheers.
Channel 9's Rory Sloane. Now, I used to go out and see Rory and interview him. He'd come in here and we'd speak, and I'd be negative. Oh, why are they playing that? This bloke here, that, why the list manager? That was a crap decision. He said, listen, mate, I'm in the four walls. We're on the right track. We got it. Didn't he? Mm-hmm. Did he or did he not?
Always would.
And he would always be positive, and we'd hang up from and said, God almighty.
He's a bit of a Mr. Sunshine.
He is. Captain
he likes
Sunshine.
blue sky.
Well, has that aged well for him as well?
Yeah.
Because he could see this.
But, when you're in it...
Fans couldn't. I couldn't.
When you're leader too, you got to bounce into that joint. You have to bounce into that joint. You can't go in...
No.
Or, like the donkey out of Winnie the Pooh.
Yeah.
Someone's been reading kids' books.
I do have grandkids.
The donkey out of Winnie the Pooh.
Yeah, well, he always sees dark clouds. He doesn't see blue sky.
See, I thought you were going to say donkey out of Shrek.
Oh,
he was up.
Now, he was up and about.
He was up.
Yeah. Apparently he's getting a sequel from what I've heard. 11 minutes to 5. We're going to take a quick break. Your call's on the other side of this. Let's check your roads.
At Mawson Lakes, look out for a crash. Salisbury Highway to the Eldersmith Road exit. Really big delays outbound through there. West Low for works at St Peters. Paynham Road near Winchester Street. Quite busy. Tapley's Heroic Glenelg North for works. And look out for speeds down to 80 O'Halloran Hill, Southern Expressway near Majors Road. Got a camera too this afternoon. Fitzroy Terrace at North Adelaide. The Cupra Terramar has arrived, so you can experience and embrace power with the new performance medium SUV from $58,490. Drive away. Cupra, inspiring from Barcelona. Adelaide's most accurate traffic on 5AA.
Rowey and Timmy G on the 5AA Sports Show.
Hi, I'm Piper, a registered nurse at the Women's and Children's Hospital. Our health system is getting a lot bigger. We're getting more people, and there's upgrades to hospitals like new emergency departments. Heaps of new beds are already open, but there's more on the way, so you can get the right care when you need it. It's all part of building a bigger health system. To find out what's happening near you, visit biggerhealthsystem.sa.gov.au.
A message from the Government of South Australia.
Hello, this is Roger from Optical by National Pharmacies.
Hey, is there a 20% off sale?
There's no sale.
Oh, I missed it.
No, you can still save 20%.
What?
It's just not a sale.
Then what is it?
It's just 20% off frames, lenses and sunglasses.
So like a sale?
Yeah.
Oh.
Not really.
Oh.
You just need a National Pharmacies membership. You can join in store today.
Oh, a membership.
Yeah, with Optical by National Pharmacies, you've got this. Terms and conditions apply.
Are you over 50 and fed up with your bloated belly? Craving bowel regularity and immune system support? Say goodbye to gut discomfort with Caruso's Over 50s Probiotic. Caruso's Over 50s Probiotic supports bowel regularity and relieves bloating associated with medically diagnosed IBS. It also supports the immune system of people over 50. If you're fed up living with an unhappy gut, try Caruso's Over 50s Probiotic today. From leading pharmacies and health stores, always read the label and follow the directions for use.
Steinborner Automotive has always been well worth the trip. From 1 to 9 yards across the Barossa, Clare and of course Gawler. You can get new and demo Ford Rangers in Clare, Mitsubishi Outlanders, Hyundai Hybrids and Mazda CX-5 in Nuriutpa, Jack Utes in Gawler, plus over 300 certified used vehicles in stock. Head to one of Steinborner's 9 locations or view the whole range at steinborner.com.au. Steinborner Automotive. It's well worth the trip.
Our place is your place at the Albion Hotel. Your place to raise a glass to a big sporting win, a milestone birthday, or just making it through the week. Cheers. Your place to bring the entire family, including the kids and grandkids, for an amazing meal together. Your place to sit back and just soak it all in. The Albion Hotel. Your local, your people, your place.
You wake up and you're feeling a bit off. Your nose is runny, but maybe it's just a cold. That scratchy throat, though, that could be something worse.
Test for COVID, Flu A, Flu B and RSV in just minutes with Cell Life, the premium 4-in-1 rapid antigen test. Fast, reliable results. Make the smart choice for your health and your family. Insist on the brand the healthcare professionals prefer. Cell Life at leading chemists and Amazon. CELLIFE.
Rowey and Timmy G, the 5AA Sports Show.
think we all take our turns. I think Tex, his leadership on field is unbelievable and sets us up so well. But Fogg's come a long way and he's a great leader at the moment. I think the boys step up when one's not playing well. I think that's the beauty of it, that one of us can step up and take the brunt of it for a bit, and then we'll rotate around, which just makes it hard to match up on as well.
7 to 5, Jimmy Bartell very soon. That was Riley Thilthorpe on Channel 7 News later on tonight, taking your calls, 8223 0000.
You got a text there?
Yes, there was a question Steve asked from Hectorville, just said, any more changes in the coaches box at Albion before the July 31st deadline? Because assistant coaches have to know before the 1st of August. So
you need a new midfield coach and you need
Josh
a new
will come
forward
out.
coach. That's right.
Yeah, and correct. So
you're looking for 2.
So there's 2 on the line. Steve, I haven't heard that there'll be any more changes, and I believe David Koch might have intimated that way this morning.
5AA Bricky.
Changing coaches doesn't really solve anything at the moment. People know the certainty of what's going to happen next year.
Oh, yeah, they do, but you stuffed it up this year, Turbo.
Yeah, well, they would have sat with Josh and said, OK, so this is where we're at. All the rest of us, as far as contracts go, what are you happy with? What aren't you happy with? What do you want to go forward with? So there would have been all of those discussions. So I would say that
it wasn't a good decision, let's face it.
I'm talking about moving forward.
Oh, OK.
But he's picking his new midfield coach.
Oh, all of that. Well, yeah,
that'll
of course,
be
Josh
really
is doing
important.
all that.
Yeah.
That is exactly right. And you want to get Naz? Well, Naz knows that Josh is the coach. So that is good. He's right with that. Let's go to Brooklyn Park. Hello, John.
Oh, hello, boys. Yeah, look, what I'm ringing up about is the professionalism of the AFL players insofar as, they should be able to kick with both legs. You watch Tex kick and he's got complete control with his left hand. And many years ago, I learned to kick with both feet. And it was Mick Daly's brother. Mick was captain of Central District back in the 60s, and his brother Jeff taught me and got me going around the boundary, bouncing with my left hand.
Yeah.
And as soon as I was able to use that left hand, I was able to kick with my left foot.
Because you're used to dropping it down. That's the art of it. It's the control, John.
I can't understand why, we don't value more people that are both-sided. I mean, what if they can use 2 arms to handball and only 1 leg? Should they get 3/4 of their salary?
Like you're thinking, John.
Well, who are the double-sided players now? Back in my day, you name hundreds of them. But now you'd name a double-sided player.
Well, I can answer it because...
Still Sidebottom's one.
Yeah, well, I can answer it because... And I know why Tex is one, because he grew up in the country. He grew up in the country in Broken Hill, where players... Probably he was taught from day dot, get on your left as well as your right. So what happened, and I remember I coached in the mid-2000s, and I couldn't believe how many blokes couldn't use their opposite side. I said, what happened?
Yeah.
What? And they said they took the coaching out of it.
And it wasn't demanded.
It wasn't demanded anymore.
Underage.
We were taught if you can't kick on your opposite side, you won't play league footy.
And you couldn't use it to get out of trouble. You had to be able to hit someone. So who's a double-sided player in your team at Port?
At Port Adelaide? He's a good... Horn Francis can kick both sides.
Can he?
Okay. I don't think it's as...
Zach Butters can't.
Smooth. He's not a
Connor Rosie's not the best.
No, we've definitely got one. I'm trying to think of it. I'll have to come back to you.
Farrell can't.
No, he's left.
It's 3 minutes to 5. We'll pick up the conversation. We'll speak with Jimmy Bartell and we'll have Where Are They Now all after 5 o'clock.
Rowey and Timmy G on the 5AA Sports Show.
Set sail in style with Azamara Cruises and Phil Hoffman Travel. Explore the stunning coastlines of Spain and Italy, uncover the wonders of Japan, or discover the hidden gems of Australasia, all in immersive destination-rich journeys. Enjoy always included dining, beverages, as amazing evenings, unlimited laundry and more. Book now and receive up to $750 onboard credit per stateroom. Offer ends September 30. Contact Phil Hoffman Travel or visit pht.com.au today.
If you're thinking about adding a battery or going solar and battery together, there's never been a better time. The federal government's cheaper home battery rebate could save you up to $18,500 on a quality system. NRG Solar are ready to help you maximise your savings, and yes, systems installed from now qualify. Beat the rush. Visit nrgsolar.com.au or call 1300 858 160. That's 1300 858 160 to book your quote today.
Something wild, cool and sophisticated has arrived in SA. Jaku, selling a new SUV, and only at Morfett Vale, Main South Road.
Things are heating up at Adelaide's largest selection of fireplaces, the Home of Fire. Get up to 50% off wood, gas and electric heating and check out their outdoor kitchens.
Home of Fire for all your flaming needs.
The Home of Fire, 126 McGill Road, Norwood.
Hands up, who wants more customers? FIVEAA is helping local businesses grow their brand and reach more people. Join us at Jarmer's Kitchen in Bowden on the 2nd or 3rd of September for a free session with audio marketing experts. Learn how audio campaigns can drive real results for your business. Spots are limited. Don't miss this opportunity to amplify your brand with audio. RSVP now and choose a time that suits you at audiorsvp.com.au.
This is the sound of chef and business owner Tom sleep talking.
Yes, chef. So many bills. Team happy. Keep the team happy.
He's feeling the pressure of running his own business, and it's costing him sleep.
Bills.
But it doesn't have to. Westpac Small Business Solutions can help keep the cash flowing and get Tom a good night's rest. Search Westpac Small Business Solutions to find out how we can help you. Eligibility, credit criteria, fees, T's and C's apply.
Living with diabetes? Ditch finger pricks with Freestyle Libre. Freestyle Libre is a small wearable sensor that monitors your glucose levels and trends and sends them straight to your phone. Instant, up-to-date feedback. No finger pricks. How good is that? And you can trial Freestyle Libre for only $15. Just head to freestylelibre.com.au to find out how. T's and C's apply. Follow directions for use. Read warnings before purchase. Free yourself from finger pricks with Freestyle Libre.
Local news and information first. This is 5AA News. Always Adelaide.
Cloudy tonight and tomorrow, a high of 15. With the 5 o'clock news, I'm Kendall Brettig. Russia's far east coast has been rocked by one of the strongest earthquakes in recent history, triggering tsunami warnings across the Pacific. Kate Creedon has the latest.
It started with a violent shake. A massive 8.8 magnitude earthquake hitting Russia's remote and sparsely populated far eastern coast. Several people were injured as stock was shaken off shelves and buildings damaged. The quake, the strongest since 2011, generating a tsunami. It was first spotted off mainland Russia's coast, the surge sweeping away buildings on the small Kuril Islands. Drone footage shows the aftermath of the first wave. Sirens triggered along Japan's coastline, with warnings of waves of up to 3 metres in some places. The warnings were issued far and wide: Peru, Ecuador and Alaska.
A special operation targeting shoplifting in Rundle Mall has seen a 7% drop in thefts. Operation Measure was launched after a spike in retail thefts targeting repeat offenders. Police Commissioner Grant Stevens says it should help restore community confidence.
By and large, these places are incredibly safe. The police are here. Private security engaged by the Rundle Mall are in place all the time. This is a safe place to come, and the more people who come, the safer it becomes.
There's been a breakthrough in the investigation into last year's arson attack on a synagogue in Melbourne, with a man in custody being questioned by police. The 21-year-old is allegedly one of 3 individuals who lit the fire. A former New South Wales police officer who fatally tasered a 95-year-old woman won't spend any time in jail. Christian White is serving a 2-year community corrections order for the manslaughter of Claire Nowland. An appeal against his sentence has been unanimously dismissed. The Albanese government says its economic policies are working following a reduction in the latest inflation rate. CPI rose 2.1% over the year to June. This is down on the previous reading in March. Lower petrol prices mainly drove the result. However, the cost of food, health and housing increased. But Treasurer Jim Chalmers has told Parliament inflation's heading in the right direction.
Because when we came to office, inflation had a 6 in front of it, and it was absolutely galloping.
And because of the work that we've done together, because of what Australians have been able to achieve together, we have got these absolutely outstanding inflation numbers today.
Advocates are welcoming the decision to include YouTube in Australia's world-first social media restrictions. Zach De Silva has details.
YouTube was originally supposed to be exempt from the government's social media ban for children under 16. But Labor says new advice laying bare the harm caused by the video sharing platform has left it with no choice. Prime Minister Anthony Albanese has told Parliament YouTube will now be included when the rules take effect in mid-December.
So every child can have a childhood.
Mia Bannister lost her teenage son to suicide when he was 14 and says while the decision isn't perfect, it's a welcome step.
This restriction is a good starting point.
YouTube's parent company Google has threatened to sue the government over the move.
And disgraced former AFL umpire Troy Pennell has been jailed for illegally selling off assets and breaching court orders. The 48-year-old pleaded guilty to 6 charges and has since been sentenced to 11 weeks behind bars. He umpired more than 200 AFL games between 2005 and 2018. Now turning to 5AA sport, and Port Adelaide's injury woes continue with Miles Bergman set to undergo shoulder surgery. He'll be out for the rest of the season. He'll miss the upcoming game against Geelong along with Jack Lukosius, and there's still a cloud over Lockie Jones. While Hawthorn has some tough decisions to make its selection with Mabwar Chol set to return from injury, key forwards Cal Shadir, Jack Gunston and Mitch Lewis have performed well in his absence. Coach Sam Mitchell isn't ruling out picking all 4 tools to face the Crows on Friday.
We've had to look at a lot of data and stuff. We play the 3 tools probably 2/3 of the time, and it would just mean that we have 2/3 would be all the time having the 3 tools on the ground. So we need to make an assessment whether that's the way that we think will kick the biggest score and stop the biggest score.
Well, the Crows will have to replace defender Max Michelani. Collingwood coach Craig McRae has had a positive first meeting with free agency target Jack Silvani. The Magpies are reportedly offering the out-of-contract Blues utility a 4-year deal. And Thunderbirds goalie Romelda Aiken-George has called time on her 18-season career. The 36-year-old says her body's ready for a timeout after 245 games across 3 clubs. Aiken-George has won 4 premierships and multiple league MVP awards. She says she's sad to be leaving the game, but it's the right time. Now checking 5AA traffic.
Starting to get busy in quite a few spots of the drive home. Goodwood Road coming out of the Parklands. Greenhill Road busy at Keswick at the moment. And she's super sluggish Maureen Road as you're driving through Richmond heading south. Got some works at St Peters to look out for. Paynham Road near Winchester Street with cameras Hallett Road, Stonyfell and McGill Road at McGill. Asia is on sale now at Flight Centre. Singapore returned with Qantas from $842. Hurry sailings August 4. Book now at flightcentre.com.au. Adelaide's most accurate traffic on 5AA.
Get the Toyota forklift advantage. Visit toyotamaterialhandling.com.au.
Cloudy tonight and tomorrow, a high of 15 down to 5 tonight. Becoming cloudy on Friday, 15. More of the same on Saturday, 14. And sunny for Sunday, 17. At the moment, 13. Now let's hear what's happening on 9 News tonight.
I'm Brenton Raglas. Tonight, tsunami alerts in the Pacific. Workers evacuate Japan's Fukushima nuclear plant after a major earthquake off Russia. Diabetes warning. The study that's found artificial sweeteners could do more harm than good. And credit card reward points alert. What you need to do now before the perks dry up. 9 News. Your news. Nightly at 6 on 9 and on 9 now.
Setting the agenda for South Australia. This is 5AA. Always Adelaide. Rowey and Timmy G. The 5AA Sports Show.
It's 7 minutes after 5 here on this Wednesday night. Always a good night of the week, the hump day. Still to come on the show this hour. Where are they now at 5:30 with a 300-gamer Australian Football Hall of Famer. Looking forward to that at 5:30. Sample Players Association President Matt Crocker. A little bit to go through with Matt. And your calls as well, 8223 0000. A $50 Powers voucher up to grabs for our best caller of the night. And of course, if you're online as well, you can tune in on the Ranella Hyundai live stream. It's on 5AA's Facebook and YouTube. But right now, our Wednesday appointment setting, all thanks to Statesman Windows, Adelaide's most trusted boutique window company, SA family owned and operated since 1980.
Bartell,
Bartell check signs it brilliantly. He can do it all, James Bartell. He's my Bravo man.
Jimmy Bartell on the 5AA Sports Show.
Yeah, thanks to Statesman Windows, every Wednesday we get to speak to this genius, Jimmy Bartell. Welcome.
We're the pride of South Australia.
This is a setup.
Takes me back to the days when I was like 13 and that song was ringing in my ears. You know, when they play it on loop after grand final. To go out and footy and back, of course, with Jarman going bananas and McLeod and all those guys. Got a fair side, the Crows, to give it a shake.
Well, they ripped Port a brand new one. So 98 points in the wet and kept them to 35. They are flag favourites. They'd have to be, well, up there with the top 2 or 3 teams to win the damn thing, Jimmy.
Yeah, I think each week we just keep talking about how they've made little improvements. They're the only team that is probably properly balanced in the terms of being not only top 4, I think they're top 2 or 3 in both attack and defence, so that speaks to really good balance. They've got a pretty fit list. A bit disappointing, of course, Michael Ennie will miss 4 weeks, hopefully, not 6 weeks. So I think they've got to be patient with that. Make sure he's right for the first final. Don't try and rush him back. And, you know, if you have to go into the first final without him, that's okay because you're going to be a top 4 side. So they've got a couple of really good names out, but there's still a lot of depth on that list.
Well, yeah, there's no doubt about that. And then on the other flip side, we started Monday with there was 2 specific stories. There's the Crow story and the Port story. God, that was shocking, wasn't it?
Yeah, they stink. And I guess that's been what I've highlighted. I felt like at times this year that if they're not close, they won't really fight their way through it. Like, I can't remember Port Adelaide putting up too much of a fight this year. If the road gets out to 3+ goals, they sort of let it get out to 40, 50 points, and that's why we've seen some of the biggest losses in Kenny's tenure all coming this year. So they just let the rope go, which is disappointing and a bit of the motivation factor. Like, you can't keep doing each week I play for Ken, but there's got to be some element around Port Adelaide going, you realise all you guys are playing for your own futures too. So, like, just actually turning the toes up actually doesn't set you in a good light for whatever we're deciding to move forward. And that's probably the question I've got for Port Adelaide, and if it's, you know, their board or whoever's in charge. A few questions like I'd be asking if I was, you know, asking the board or whoever's in charge of their direction is, was this part 1 or is this year 1 of your 3 to 4 year plan, or are you not starting it until next year? Because it has just proven this year's been a waste. So I'd like to know what this year was actually, apart from just the transition of the coach. I'd like to know, yeah, what are you doing in your football department? What are you doing as your development? Like, was this always planned? So you need to ask, and not be disrespectful to Port Adelaide's board, like Treaders is the one I know is, as a football man, of course, on the board, and then, of course, Koshy, but whoever else has, you know, the football brief on the board, you want to know what was this year actually about, just apart from the transition from Hinkley to Carr.
Yep, that's
well, it's a failed year. It's a put a line through it. Failed.
But you don't want it to be wasted as
what was it?
Oh, we're doing transition of a coach. There's surely got to have been more than that. Like, you'd also want to ask even Chris Davies, like, is your name just going to constantly be floated, or are you in this for the next 4 years? Like, what are you doing? Like, whenever there's a vacancy, his name is front and centre. So, like, are you entertaining these ideas, or are you going to shut them down and say, no, I'm with Josh Carr for the next 4 years. This is what we're doing. This year was actually part of our 5-year plan. You'll see it clear next year, or is it just, we just parked a year while, you know, Kenny exited?
Jimmy, you mentioned the board. Point. When you were on the board at GWS, were there fixed terms?
There's fixed terms in on the board. That's why the reason I stood off. I'd served 6 years, so I did 2 3-year terms.
Yeah.
I thought that was a good time for me to exit. All the things that I had in my mind to be a part of with the Giants and transition some things, or impart my ideas or thoughts, it got it to a really good place, and then it was a good opportunity for somebody else to grab and run with it. Or else I thought, 9 years, well, that'd just be me doing it just to say that I was a board member. I didn't never want to be that type of person just so I could go tell people I was a board member of the footy club. I went there with a purpose, and I felt like I had achieved or, put in place or, started the direction of where I felt like the Giants should go. So that was my thoughts. Other people are different. They like to swirl the Merlot down at their local sports club and say that they're a board member.
Yeah, so if you heard that the 7 AFL-appointed board members at Port Adelaide didn't have a fixed term, would you be surprised?
Well, it doesn't really give you anything, I guess, some time frames or some urgency, doesn't it? Like, that's just my initial thoughts. Those people might think, oh, no, they might have a different reasoning, but I'm also of the belief that, in any leadership roles, as far as whether it be a chief executive, chairperson, or anybody with some serious weight or power in an organisation, you should have some fixed terms or some clear plans because you need accountability and you need to be able to measure it, don't you? That's just my initial thought.
No, 100% right. Naz Wanganeen Miller, some are saying the best 2 minutes of footy they've ever seen. I mean, Saints' record come from behind win was one thing, but his last 2 goals was another.
Oh, it was absolutely madness.
Wasn't it?
And here's the funny thing is, I was mucking around with my 2 boys, and my oldest is 9, and we were watching the last couple of minutes, and even that last play from the centre bounce when we rewatched it, if my 9-year-old can go, why isn't anyone playing on him? Well, the guy who had the ball in his hand, he probably should have kicked 6, actually. If you go back and have a look at the 2 he missed, they're pretty routine for someone of his talent, but he's kicking bananas at 34. Don't get beaten by what you know. And if anyone says, it was unique circumstances, if you actually have a look at the experience Melbourne had in the centre bounce and on the wing, they had about 700 games worth of experience, but no one decided to man him up. Well, let somebody else beat you. And when have you ever seen Rowan Marshall kick the ball 115 metres? Why did they all charge back to the goal square? You actually had to laugh. The Melbourne fans weren't laughing, but they all just steamed back to the goal square. Bowie's turned his back. And then Max Gawn reminded me of the guy off Happy Gilmore where he said, I believe that jacket belongs to Mr. Gilmore. What was he charging back to? and Viney, he was setting up like, even though the 666 rule had been paid against him, why are you still standing at centre wing?
Oh, God. Hey, just on Happy Gilmore, have you watched Happy Gilmore 2? The worst movie I've ever seen in the history.
I liked it.
Oh, you did not, Tim. It stunk.
No, it wasn't that bad.
No, what wasn't the worst? It was just...
There's been lots of worses.
Yeah. It was reference city. Like, it was just
Correct.
like all the old references to the other one and celebrities. I'll tell you what, the person who actually should be commended for it is Will Zalatoris, who was good enough to pretend to be the grown-up caddy that he used to sort of choke out on the golf course.
Yeah, how good was that?
Good on him for playing along with that gag.
Now, Jimmy, if Harley Reid is worth $24 million with a 2-year plus a 9-year player option, you would have been worth $50.
No, the good thing is I never actually really got out of contract and, put Geelong under pressure because winning and success and what was being built at Geelong made my decisions pretty easy. But look, it's smart management. Like, really, as much as we can throw our hands up, he's still got another year to run. So pretty much he's just saying to West Coast, well, there's a number, or if any other clubs, we've tabled it. If you want to come early, well, there's the final number. It'd be interesting to see if this time next year, whether they wait till then. And look, he'll still get probably mid ones to high ones. And it'd be good to see Harley come back, like sort of how he presents, like, because obviously he's got the early end of the season with his injury. He goes back home, and you'll see his motivation levels, and that'll tell how big his contract's going to be.
Jimmy, with West Coast as well, I believe they're making a formal application for draft assistance. Now, that is, on the back of perhaps a one-win season coming up. But they've been in this hole for a long, long time. They're probably the richest club in the AFL. Is this a bit cheeky, asking for draft assistance, or is it a too bad, too sad answer?
Yeah, they're proper rich. I think Don Pike uses gold bullions to smooth out his envelopes. That's how rich the Eagles are. They could the actual Eagles should buy the next licence, to be honest.
Yes.
And just use it as a feeder club.
Yeah.
But it's kind of, I'm going to contradict myself. Yes, they should ask, because that's what clubs should do, is just completely lobby for their own club. Do I think they should get it? Probably not at this stage. I don't think it's as compelling enough to give it to them, as you said, for rewarding or benefiting from your own poor decisions. Now, I might sound a bit harsh and brutal, but if you put your hand up for draft assistance, anyone who's been involved in any of those previous decisions can no longer be at the club. It's almost like a caveat, shouldn't it be? So you're going to tell me the person who's ran your club into the ground or made poor list management or recruiting decisions gets to stay there and get the top pick in the draft?
Yeah.
Spare me. You've actually proven that you can't actually do that responsibly. They had multiple opportunities to do what Hawthorn did, and what Richmond did was, yep, we appreciate you. You've been a great player for the club. Maybe, you've got a couple of years left, but we don't think you're going to be part of our next successful side, and traded them and got really good picks. So Hawthorn really got a lot of heat for trading Mitchell and O'Meara. People were coming at them, and they had a poor year after it, but didn't they rapidly rise up the ladder? Richmond made the most of Baker and Graham and Bolton leaving, and I think a lot of people are going, oh, geez, Richmond are going to look really tasty in about a year and a half.
Jimmy, I reckon Greggy Swan, old Swanee, the old Swanmeister, the old change agent, I reckon he's starting to, I don't know, get a few people in headlocks, do you think, or is it still very glacial?
No, I think he's a bit more proactive. I tell you where he can get a little bit more proactive is, I'm sick and tired of hearing, it could have been 0 or it could have been 3 weeks. Seriously, you gherkins, you own the rules. They're your rules. I reckon I've said this to you guys
100
the last couple of weeks. You can do whatever you want.
Yeah.
If you want to decide that we're going to play 4-minute quarters, you can do it, and we can't do much about it. Fix it. And the Tribunal, and this is probably a question I've got back to you guys, the garbage that is now being spewed out at the Tribunal, and if you really want to do your head in, listen to some of the rubbish and nonsense from prosecution and Tribunal on their findings, and using the Stephen May case for an example. Now, one of the worst quotes is Stephen May didn't know the first bounce was going to bounce upright. He should have known the second one.
Oh.
Now, how many times have we said that we play the most unique game in the world with an oval ball? On that premise, that means Stephen Milne should have known that ball would have bounced left in the grand final. Do you think Stephen Milne knew the ball was going a hard left?
Yeah. No, I don't
think we should accept the path of the way the Tribunal is going, and it's become a lawyer's picnic. They've absolutely wasted everyone's time and money a couple of weeks ago when they argued over $750 for Adam.
No.
Spare me that rubbish.
Yeah. Just quickly before you go, Crows Hawks Friday night.
I think if the Crows can cut out Hawthorn's release marks, they'll take the tempo out of the game and they'll win by 3 goals.
Whoa! And Port Geelong by how much?
Well, now this time you might be in the ballpark.
He said 130 last time.
Yeah, I did say that. We're on Jezza Watch, aren't we?
Yes.
So, Geelong by 378.
Not listening.
Well, if Zerk Thatcher is standing Jezza, he could kick 15.
Not listening.
If Aliir stands you in this format,
all right,
he'll
see you,
kick
Jimmy.
10.
Thanks, mate.
Great
to have you. See you, mate. It's all over now. Thanks, mate. Appreciate it. We'll talk to you next Wednesday.
There you guys.
Jimmy Bartell, Statesman Windows, Adelaide's boutique window company, trusted by the best builders in Adelaide. And just like Jimmy, they are elite, consistently delivering at the highest level. Need the best windows? See Statesman Windows.
It's 21 minutes after 5.
Just a couple of texts because they've tickled my fancy. Dinner tonight, slow-cooked lamb shanks and vegetable and red wine jus with mashed potatoes along with a cheeky red on the side. John, care factor, he just sent that through. What about this one? He just sent that through.
0 point.
How about the sporting player of the week? This is the one I wanted to read, but that one just popped up. How about the play of the week? Trump's caddy dropping the ball on the fairway for Trump to hit. I saw that.
Really?
So it was in the rough, and he's just picked it up and thrown it out the middle.
Oh, any Simpsons fans, that's Smithers is Mr. Burns is offside. Yeah, throwing out the ball for him.
We've all got a sand shoe wedge.
No, we don't.
No,
that's the worst thing you can do in golf.
Is it?
Cheat. Oh,
Oh,
worst thing. I mean, golf's mainly a game against yourself.
That's why I don't play.
Well, good.
Don't cheat the game.
Did you see how he looked at me?
22 after 5.
Taking your port back.
Let's see your Adelaide traffic.
Afternoon at Hackney, Carvey Barrier, Hackney Road near North Terrace, West Richmond, Marion Road near Lane Street has another collision which is causing big delays. We're slow for works at Ridgehaven, North East Road near Dale Avenue and super slow South Road 3 Mile End this afternoon. You'll find Carras Hallett Road, Stonyfell and Hub Drive at Aberfoyle Park. Guzmani Gomez's Chicken Mini Meal, a big eats at a mini price. Mini chicken burrito with free-range chicken fries and drink, just $12. Grab yours today at GYG. Adelaide's most accurate traffic on 5AA.
The 5AA Sports Show with Rowey and Timmy G.
Be listening to the 5AA Interactive Lounge this Thursday with me, Lee Forrest. Representatives from Donate Life SA will be discussing organ and tissue donation, raising awareness and supporting families across our state. Donate Life works with medical specialists to provide services and encourage best practice to increase donation rates. If you'd like to know more, they'll also be taking your calls confidentially off air. Catch the Donate Life Interactive Lounge this Thursday with me, Lee Forrest. Call 8223 0055.
Hi, Malcolm Blight here for Knowles Caravans, home of Island Star. For over 50 years, they've had the best selection of new vans, or they can custom build one in just 10 to 12 weeks. Or look around at 100 second-hand vans, perfect for travelling around our beautiful country, or if you need an extra room at home, subject to council approvals.
Caravans, Knowles Caravans, Knowles Caravans, Knowles Caravans.
Knowles Caravans, 561 Salisbury Highway, Greenfields, opposite Mawson Lakes. You'll love the way they do business.
You wake up and you're feeling a bit off. Your nose is runny, but maybe it's just a cold. That scratchy throat, though, that could be something worse.
Test for COVID, Flu A, Flu B and RSV in just minutes with Cell Life, the premium 4-in-1 rapid antigen test. Fast, reliable results. Make the smart choice for your health and your family. Insist on the brand the healthcare professionals prefer. Cell Life at leading chemists and Amazon. CELLIFE.
Rightio, radio is the theatre of the mind.
The mind.
Picture this. You finally arrive at your hotel after a long day of planes, trains and terminal coffee. The guy at the reception gives you a friendly smile, hands over the keys and says, "Enjoy your stay." You head up to the room, open the door and instantly regret everything.
Listen, it happens, and more often than you'd think. That the bed looks like it hasn't been touched since the 90s.
Oh, dear.
There's no sign of the window. You definitely saw in those photos. And
and the smell.
Oh.
And don't hold a blue light up, for God's sakes. Seen that on Gordon Ramsay. I love that. Hotel Nightmares. Now, you can skip this kind of holiday horror altogether by booking with RAA's trusted travel agents. From the moment you sit down with them, you feel like you're in safe, experienced hands.
I see that logo and it gives me confidence.
Correct.
RAA.
That's what it is.
You just look at it, you go, wow.
Yeah.
So whether it's flights or accommodation, tours or even cruises, they'll tailor a package just for you. RAA Travel.
You're in safe hands. So book an appointment now with an RAA travel agent to elevate your holiday. RAA. It's better to be a member.
What's on your bucket list? Cruising around the world? Doing a hot lap around Bathurst? Learning how to play drums? Before you plan a bucket list, plan your will with Donlan Lawyers. A will, power of attorney and advanced care directive speak for you when you can't. It means you and your loved ones will be taken care of. Visit donlanlawyers.com. Put it on your bucket list. Hindmarsh Square, Adelaide and Ocean Street, Victor Harbour.
Get saving now with City Discount Tyres. We're offering great deals on the world's top brands in tyres, wheels, suspension and parts. Suitable for four-wheel drives, SUVs and passenger cars, including Falcon, Michelin, Pirelli, Kumho, Hankook and many more. Finance options available. Search citydiscounttires.com.au and locate your nearest dealer today. City Discount Tyres. We're driven by value.
Things are heating up at Adelaide's largest selection of fireplaces, the home of fire. Get up to 50% off wood, gas and electric heating and check out their outdoor kitchens.
Home of fire for all your flaming needs.
The home of fire, 126 McGill Road, Norwood.
The 5AA Sports Show with Rowey and Timmy G.
Oh, I had an absolute brain fog moment and, got to get my compass sorted and kick it the right way next time. But, it's not very funny at the time, but I'm sure I'll look back on it and have a good laugh about it.
Well, one of those iconic moments, unfortunately, now in folklore is Miles Bergman. That's him on Channel 7 talking about that centre clearance that opened Showdown 58.
Yeah, we got bad news. We alluded to it last night that he may be going in for surgery. That is happening, arthroscopy on the shoulder.
Yep.
Here he is.
I felt a crunch in the last showdown, and since then it's been real niggly. I wanted to play it out as long as I could, but it's just got to the point where myself and the club decided it was a bit too much and try and get ready for next year.
Queue and rack. It's that time of year. People are going to retire or queue and rack. Bergman's nine.
Get surgery.
Seriously, Stephen, your smugness is sickening. I hate Hawthorn, but I sincerely hope they give the Crows a footy lesson. Now, that's Joe the golfer. You know, Joe...
Did she say she was a golfer?
I think Joe's the golfer.
Oh, no.
Yes.
That plays for Port.
Oh, good.
I reckon Joe would have a sand shoe wedge.
No.
She'll fire up at you in a minute.
Hello, Ralph. Well, that's why I said it. Hello, Ralph.
G'day, Rowey and Timmy. I was just I'm enjoying your conversation topic about the Crows and getting their heads right as we move towards finals and that. And I'm just imagining a bit of a metaphor, but Nixie's holding a bucket. And what are the ingredients? What's the recipe? What are you throwing into that bucket to help get their heads right? You know, I'd love to hear your different listeners over a series of nights add to that bucket. Not that you want the players to have 30 different thoughts in their head. The poor guys wouldn't know what to do. But, you know, if I was to throw just a couple of ideas into that bucket, leadership's number one for me. Not just your captain, not just your leadership group, the designated boys, but every single player is a leadership on that day. And you know, I just reckon leadership, everyone's a leader. I'd also throw in different scenarios like, boys, imagine it's the big stage and it's quarter time and you're 4 goals down. What's going on in your head? What's your strategy? And conversely, it's three-quarter time and you're 4 goals up. Consider that scenario. Just go through some different scenarios to prepare. And my last one is contested ball. You know, unlike Yatesy on Brereton in 89, that controlled aggression at the ball. And, you know, just reckon they're really important ingredients into that bucket of that recipe.
Ralph, that is brilliant, mate. A lot of them were what-ifs, but what do you need to be great? And I think in September... You're right. Leadership, all those sort of things. But I think when you come into a finals, you have a responsibility to yourself to be as fit and do everything you can right, whether it's giving up drinking, have an extra ice bath, eat well, whatever it is, you have a responsibility to yourself and the team to get right. If all of you do that and you're fit and healthy and all those other things you've done for the last 20 weeks, that's exactly right.
Give yourself your best chance.
There's not a lot of coaching that can happen between now and then that's going to improve a grand final win or loss. Yeah. And I remember the great grand final that I think it was the third one that Lee Matthews won at Brisbane, and they had the camera on him, and he hardly said a word. And they interviewed him afterwards, and he said, well, all the work's done. It's the players. They've got to look after themselves. Yeah. And if each of them look after themselves, we'll get a collective result because we've done everything all year.
You give them
it's second nature to them.
Give them a little bit at
a little
the breaks
tweak.
And the like, but it's not a lot.
Jack was the same.
Jack was very good at I think the first...
Over to you, boys.
The first premiership we played in, at quarter time, we hadn't scored a goal. And Glenelg were more experienced. They'd been in the last 4 grand finals, and they'd kicked, I think, 3-goal fall or something like that. And I came into the break thinking we're going to get a blast. And all he did was say, hey, just settle down. You know what? Your endeavour's excellent. Your endeavour is excellent. Now we'll just settle it down. Now we'll get our opportunities and we'll take them and the like. He said, you were just trying a little bit too hard. That's all.
In that tone of voice?
In that tone of voice. You're just trying a little bit too hard. Now go back out. Keep doing what you're doing because you're winning the football and our opportunities will come. And they did. And by half-time, we just had this incredible belief that we're going to win.
Seriously.
I love it.
There isn't anything he could do wrong, old Jack. It's 28 minutes to 6. Where are they now? Coming up next.
Rowey and Timmy G on the 5AA Sports Show. This is 5AA News. Always Adelaide.
Good afternoon, I'm Kendall Brettig. A groom on the way to his wedding and one of his groomsmen are seriously injured in hospital after their minibus crashed and rolled in the New South Wales Hunter Valley. Google has cancelled a planned event at federal parliament as the government plans tougher restrictions for its platform YouTube. Management at Thomas Foods International's Lobethal plant have met with workers today after cutting processing operations back to a single shift. And another injury blow for Port Adelaide with Miles Bergman to undergo shoulder surgery. Now checking 5AA traffic.
G'day there. Hackney car v barrier to look out for. Hackney Road near North Terrace with some pretty big delays. Also delays at West Richmond with another collision. Marion Road near Lane Street. We're slow for work South Road at Mile End and quite busy Brighton Road, Glenelg East just near Jetty Road. Cameras tonight, Hub Drive, Aberfoyle Park and Lander Road at Trot Park. Look for the RAA sign at over 400 independent RAA approved repairers across SA. You know can trust them because RAA do. Adelaide's most accurate traffic on 5AA.
To the weather, partly cloudy tonight and tomorrow, a high of 15, at the moment 12. More news at 6 o'clock on 5AA, always Adelaide.
Alex Neil Bullen, fresh from that remarkable record-breaking showdown win on Saturday night.
David Penberthy and Will Goodings.
Where did it feature amongst the wettest conditions you've ever played in?
I reckon it took the chockies.
Yeah, right.
Coming in sideways.
Adelaide's leading breakfast show.
A lot of challenges when it's that wet, but it also takes you back to playing at your local junior footy club.
5AA Breakfast.
You roll off the oval and get a packet of salt when you get chips, a can of Coke, and think, how good's footy? That's why I love the game.
Weekdays from 6 a.m. on 5AA. Always Adelaide.
Steinborner has done it again. The Jack T9 Ute has landed at Jack Motors in Gawler. Enjoy a 5-star ANCAP safety rating, 7-year unlimited K warranty, 7-year roadside assistance, 7-year capped price servicing. The Jack T9 impresses with a turbocharged diesel engine, 4x4 dual-range transmission, 3-ton towing capacity, and it can easily handle a full-size Aussie pallet with a 1,045-kilo payload. All this from $39,990 drive away. Jack Motors. It's well worth the trip. Gawler, Barossa and Clare, or at gawlerjackmotors.com.au.
Life's a journey. As you grow older, every step should bring you more of what you want. And at ECH, they understand that. As one of SA's largest retirement living and home care providers, ECH offers more in every sense. More help at home, more support with your health, or the perfect new home to downsize to. ECH won't tell you where you should be, but they'll always support you to get more out of life. Visit ech.asn.au or call ECH today.
Last month, we serviced around 11,000 vehicles, more than 2,000 Nissans, Patrols, Navaras, X-Trails, 1,500 Mazdas, 3 6s, BT50s, over 1,200 Suzukis. That's right, over 11,000 people trusted us with their pride and joy. Automasters, isn't it time for you to switch and save? Call 1300 Automasters or book online. All centres offer repair now, pay later options. So switch and save with Automasters. Great service guaranteed.
1 minute you've got a life in front of you and you're happy and you've got your family, and the next minute you've got nothing. And I thought to myself, this is the end of my life. I don't know where I'm going to be tomorrow. But Hutt Street Centre straight away made me feel like I'm safe. I'm comfortable. There is another day tomorrow and it's going to be a bright day. That's what Hutt Street is to me.
Step up to end homelessness by supporting Hutt Street Centre's Walk a Mile in My Boots. Register or donate today.
How's a juicy little $50 cashback sound?
Ooh.
What about access to Westpac Rewards, the home of dazzling discounts and deals? Open a Westpac Choice transaction account, spend $50 using your mobile wallet within 15 days, and the cashback, discounts and deals are all yours. Search Westpac Choice for an account that's simply bursting with the good stuff. T's and C's, eligibility and fees apply. No transaction account in the last 2 years. Just make in-person contactless mobile payments totaling $50 to get that sweet, sweet cashback.
Rowey and Timmy G, the 5AA Sports Show.
24 minutes to 6. Very soon, Hannah Petty will join us. The dual premiership captain and now retired Adelaide Thunderbirds leader Matty Crocker from the Sample PA to join us as well. But right now, we are doing Where Are They Now? All thanks to Walco at the centre of SA's biggest cover-up with their incredibly good-looking Walco mesh pool cover.
The 5AA Sports Show's Where Are They Now? Past legends, past glories.
Gee whiz, what a legend of the game this fella was with the Essendon Football Club, the Hawthorn Football Club. 326 games, 561 goals. He played as a forward. He played on ball. He won a couple of best and fairest at Hawthorn. He played in flags in 85 and 93. He was 7-time Essendon leading goal kicker, 3-time pre-season flag, won a best on-ground medal in one of those. Hawthorn Team of the Century, Essendon Football Club Hall of Fame, 3-time All-Australian. It just goes on and on and on. It's just incredible. Australian Hall of Fame. Speak none other than the big fish. Paul Salmon, welcome.
Wow. I love that. Can you do it again?
It takes too long, mate.
I'd actually forgotten most of that. Who is that? Boys, Rowey, Timmy, great to be with you, boys. It's a highlight of my day.
Well, the last time we caught up, you were here for Gather Round, of course, and we were talking about your new app, City Feels, and got a feel for that, pardon the pun. But we wanted to concentrate more on you this time and get right back. So I know as a kid, I played 1 year of your Teal Cup against you, but as a kid growing up, where did you play your footy? And then, you know, you obviously had great success at Teal Cup a couple of years under Slug Jordan, winning those championships. But were you zoned to Essendon back in those days?
Yeah, that's the way it rolled back then, as you'd be familiar with, and some of your listeners might not. But, you know, from the day you decide you might want to be a league footy and you fall in love with the game and you fall in love with the heroes, you really had no choice as to where you might land, because it was all to do with geographical zones. So, yeah, I was a mad, passionate Hawthorn fan through one of their golden eras of the 70s. Of course, I born in the 60s. The 70s were great for the Hawks, and then I landed at Essendon in 81 because I lived in their zone. But I always knew that Essendon was where I was going to land. But I had three older brothers that weren't allowed to start footy until I was 10, but I somehow coerced mum and dad into letting me start at 9 and competitively. And yeah, just loved it, lived it and breathed it, to the detriment of some other things in life. But like a lot of young blokes who, you know, set their mind to something, I was ready to go. So the Teal Cup era, as you mentioned, was so much fun. And, you know, you get to play with a lot of the guys that you end up playing against for many, many years. And then when you finish and you're retired, you know, there's a joy in meeting them at the Hall of Fame dinners or other environments. Like I did a sportsman's night with Jimmy Bartell a couple of weeks ago, and we played one of those Teal Cup years again, and we still talk about it. Yeah. So yeah, really, really treasured memories.
Yeah, and I got to say, your coach of that era, old Slug, he was a bit of a legend, wasn't he, of that junior era? Colourful Slug. He knew how to put a sentence together with some expletives. There's no question about that. What is it about blokes under 5'5" that can overcompensate with the English language? I can remember you guys ran out and he was standing there abusing you all, and it was the warm-up before the game. And he was saying, that's right. Yes, probably someone had their bootlaces undone or didn't do it properly. He was an attention to detail guy. In fact, he had a great sense of humour too. He was intimidating for a little bloke, and of course, when you're 15 or 16 years old. Yeah. You know, you got this older guy kind of yelling at you. It always makes an impression. But he set a really quick story. My first year at Teal Cup was in Melbourne, second year in Brisbane. We were reasonably dominant, although South Australia was 6 goals up on us at half-time of the Melbourne Carnival. And it was a rather famous day because at Waverley Park, there were people hanging off the rafters. There was a famous day where there were 93,000+ people there to watch Hawthorn Collingwood, and we played the curtain raiser to that. So what a thrill for 15, 16-year-olds we playing in front of it at the last quarter. And with South Australia up by 6 goals at half time, we sort of came over the top of them and won the game in the end. So great memory. But Slug, he set a curfew. He had to leave Brisbane to come back to Melbourne to coach the Melbourne Reserves or something. And some of the blokes broke the curfew. If I had recorded what he said the next morning, it would have been priceless because he got all the team in and he knew the blokes who had played up. Damien Burke, who ended up going on to ruck for Geelong, is one of them, and Burke won't mind me telling the story. Anyway, you know, Slug was quite funny. He didn't mean to be, but he was telling Burke that his parents are going to find out pretty quick, smart, and his home life is going to be hell for the next 6 months, and he's going to organise. It was just brilliant how he put it together, and we never forgot it, and we won the carnival. But yeah, it was a great man. Yeah, great man.
Well, I get your nickname's Fish from your surname Salmon, but how'd you get Slug? We might leave that there. Hey,
well, I did say he was only 5'5".
Yeah, there you go. There you go.
Don't expect too much from him.
Yeah.
Geez.
Fish, your debut, you're only just turned 18. Can you remember it?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Yeah, very, very fondly. Sheeds had teased me debuting the year before when I was 17 in the last couple of rounds, but he never pulled it off. He was just taunting me. I had a great summer. So round 1, 1983, we're going to Sydney, which is not ideal because obviously family would love to watch your first game. I know I sound like a Victorian whinging about playing at the state, but hey, let me go. Back then it was a novelty. Sydney had only gone up there in 1982, so it was the second year of their existence as the Swans up there. Yeah, and look, I won't tell you the long story. I got picked up by a guy named Daisy Williams in the morning to go to the airport. Daisy drove a Datsun 260Z, which is the orange rig, really small, so I had my knees up on the dashboard. We took off, and he said, we've got to pick up Vander on the way.
No.
Paul Vanderhaar, which my old man, when Dave picked me up, he told me, and my old man said, if I'd known you're going to pick up Vander, I would have driven you myself. You know?
He would have been smoking in the back seat.
Well, here's the thing, it's very 80s, this story, but, you get there and, we toot the horn, he doesn't come out. Of course, we play that day, guys. You remember we travelled on the same day, so we didn't have much wriggle room at the time. So we went inside. The door was slightly open. This was a Saturday morning on the previous night. Vander had one of his infamous card nights, so it smelt and felt like you're walking into a pub the morning after.
Classic.
There were smoke packets and stubbies lying everywhere and stuff. And anyway, the shower was on, and we presumed it was Vander, but much to my pleasant surprise, it wasn't. And Vander was in the spa having a kip. We got him organised, and he grabbed a cheese slice and a stubby for the back seat, and we went up and played. And here I was living and breathing, sort of the game that's 48 hours prior, and here's Vander doing it his way. He wasn't always like that, but it was just a really interesting welcome to AFL or VFL at the time, and we got done by a point. And so I remember it really well. I remember the day my first kick was a scrambling left footer out in the full, getting pushed over the line. So yeah, it was a really cool experience though.
How good's that? 2 flags, but you missed the 84. What happened there?
Did his knee?
Oh, you did too.
Yeah. Well, 84 was a real circus for me because that year kicked off with me doing something I wasn't really aware that I was capable of. I was kicking a lot of goals, and that was
he's on fire.
For an 18-year-old, 19-year-old, it was a lot of fun. I mean, you can imagine the kid who had to stand, the ugly, lanky kid that had to stand at the back of the queue to get into pubs as well. Now getting waved up the front, getting drink cards, and girls were talking to him. It was amazing, And I always thought it was because I was attractive, but apparently he had nothing to do with it.
It didn't.
Charming and attractive. But yeah, it was crazy. And then I did my knee halfway through that year, and missed 80. There was a reconstruction, and you guys might remember getting a reconstruction in the early mid-80s.
Oh, not the best.
A career sentence, but it all worked out all right. Missed 84, really driven to get back there for 85, and the planets aligned, and she's got me to the line. And
Paul, did you do something after the 84 grand final that Sheeds pulled you up on? Did you say something to the media or something?
No, it wasn't. It was 2 things, right? There was one thing at the Southern Cross afterwards. I'm a bit of a 2-point screamer, and always have been. And because I'd missed the game and I'm tired and emotional, I'd had a few beers and I wasn't very good at it. And I actually stopped drinking after this for about 15 years. I didn't.
Wow.
I went to, but that window, I had a few drinks, got to the Southern Cross, and I thought it'd be funny to pinch the Channel 7 guy's camera and take it around the room and do some mock interviews with the lads. And that didn't go over well with the Channel 7 guy. His name was Steve Phillips, a beautiful man.
Yeah.
But then he set me and Mark Harvey up to do an interview, knowing it was totally cactus.
Yeah.
And we mumble and dribble our way through this interview, and she wasn't happy that we did that.
Right.
But that was a setup. And then I think later that night, what else was he not happy with? I was just saying to someone that a journo that I'm, you say you must be disappointed you missed this year, and I just said something, a bit of a throwaway line about, but I'll be back there next year. I really want to play next year's grand final.
That's the one I was thinking of.
Yeah, and she's physically grabbed me, took me to another room and said, don't let me ever hear you say that you'll be praying in next year's grand final. That's not a given. That's not, so it was a really good lesson in not getting ahead of myself.
How good.
She's red hot on that for sure.
Put you off the drink for 15 years. Must have been
it did. Maybe there were days I should lean back on it, I've got to tell you.
He scared you straight.
Plenty of those.
Hey, what about, in total contrast, nearly a decade later, the 93 Baby Bombers story is quite an interesting one because there was very few senior players in that. Unlike the names you're talking about, Billy Duckworth, Van der Haar, these sort of guys. There was you brought Timmy Watson back for that year just because of the fact that you needed some seniority. Or not you personally, but the club did. And you were by that stage a senior player, probably around the 28 mark. So what was it like with all this youth around you and the belief system that sort of grew with the confidence and momentum?
Yeah, look, an incredibly memorable year, and you're right. The return of, at the end of '92, Simon Madden, we had icons retire. Simon Madden, Terry Danaher, Tim Watson hadn't played in '92, so Bomber Thompson was captain. I was vice captain at that stage, and Mark Harvey and Gary O'Donnell rounded out the leadership kind of group, and we'd all been there Bomber Halves and I had been there since 82, 83, and Gary joined in the late 80s. And look, so we were ready to take over. And look, interestingly, Sheeds called us in one night on a pre-season, and before the pre-season got underway, he said, look, it's your team now, what do you want to do with it? And this is around the time that everyone's tipping us to finish lower, in the lower reaches of the ladder, and didn't expect much from Essendon in '93. And we said, well, there's a couple of things we kind of thought about not putting our younger teammates, and they're all pups, through the same process we went through when we joined the club, which is a bit of a speak when you spoke, speak when you've earned it kind of, apprenticeship. And so we gave him a lot of rope. She's walked us through some of the boys that he wanted to get a lot of football into that year. Hurdy had a couple of games in '92. McCurry had a couple, I think, but we hadn't seen much of the Kel Phillips, and certainly hadn't seen anything of Dustin Fletcher at that stage and these sorts of boys. So anyway, history shows we just built some momentum in that year, and as a leader of that group, it felt like we had some ownership over that, and the Joe Mercedes of the world, and what brilliant careers they went on to have, lads. They were special days. It was a special year, and thanks to the Adelaide Crows who went to sleep for us in the preliminary final after half time.
I could jump through the phone and rip your gills out. Hey, we always run out of time. Paul Salmon, our guest, where are they now? Just an absolute great. You moved to Hawthorn, the team you loved as a lad. Your first 2 years at Two Best and First, you had an incredible career with them in that 5 years. They even put you in the team of the century, so you must have made an impression. Fish?
Yeah, or I paid the right people, which is a really clever thing to do. Go to the club cashed up, and look, in all seriousness, a special time. I know we haven't got much time. I'd love to talk more about it, but look, that 5 years saved, I shouldn't say saved my life, but really changed my life. I went there a very broken man. Physically, I was broken. Mentally, I knew I was broken. So did a lot of healing, did a lot of rebuilding. I got to work. I really worked my backside off. As evidence, I went there, with a reputation as being a bit injury prone, but over the 5 years I was there, I averaged 20 games a year. And, when it came down to it, it was a tumultuous time at Hawthorn, because my first year there was the merge year where, lots of speculation around the Melbourne merge, and then finished in a second semi. So my last year at Hawthorn, we played 2 weeks into the finals, and my first year out, they played in the preliminary final. So from a personal sense, an amazingly fulfilling experience, and all my family barrack for Hawthorn now. Passionate. They lent into that because Hawthorn really embraced my family, and it was just an extraordinary experience for us. And they flattered me with that selection in the team of the century, and that was largely because they picked a side to play the next day. So I probably got lucky with their model, because Don Scott was a number one ruckman, and they picked a ruckman to back him up, and I got the gig. So incredibly huge honour, and to this day, love the Hawks and the Bombers. I'm a very fortunate man that I played for two great clubs.
You certainly did, mate.
You're a great...
Bloody a credit to yourself and your family, the way you went about it. Always a pleasure to talk to you, mate. We've run out of time, but you're going to come back, with the City Fields for Live Golf and for Gather Round again next year?
Yeah, that's the plan, and so we're sort of just waiting on to see what the government there wants to do. Look, kudos to what your government. I mean, you might not like me saying it, but they're doing some great things, and they've got some really great innovation and an energy to do some things that lead the way, and we're a part of that. So we hope to be we hope you're seeing you soon, boys, and hopefully you'll have me back in the studio one day.
Absolutely,
we might have to do part 2 of Where Are They Now? The Hawthorn story,
the third story. I love it, mate. Fish, always a pleasure, mate. Thanks, buddy.
You boys are the best. Take care.
Good man. Paul Salmon, our guest on Where Are They Now? All thanks to Walco. It's SA's biggest cover-up, and it's a Walco mesh cover. It keeps the leaves and debris out of your pool all year round, and because it's pulled super taut, it never sags. It looks great. Ask Walco about their mesh pool cover.
Checking traffic.
G'day there at Hackney, a Carvey barrier, Hackney Road near North Terrace, West Richmond, a smash on Maori Road near Lane Street. She's chock-a-block with delays in all directions there. And hang on, one's just getting past to me right now. Thank you. Paynham, a breakdown Port Rice Road near Rosella Street. Got a few delays through there as well. Getting busy, Greenhill Road at Unley Road and quite slow Richmond Road, Richmond, with a camera Maya Road at Lonsdale. KFC have just dropped the $15 value burger feast today only. Get lit with KFC this Christmas in July, only on the app. Pick up only while stocks last. Max 1 redemption. Adelaide's most accurate traffic on 5AA.
Rowey and Timmy G on the 5AA Sports Show.
Adelaide Crows gun recruit Alex Neil-Bullen joins David and Will for the 2025 AFL season.
Alex Neil-Bullen.
Hear Alex's unique insights thanks to ACET Transport. If your business needs something delivered anywhere in Australia, don't risk it. ACET. ACETtransport.au.
You wake up and you're feeling a bit off. Your nose is runny, but maybe it's just a cold. That scratchy throat, though, that could be something worse.
Test for COVID, Flu A, Flu B and RSV in just minutes with Cell Life, the premium 4-in-1 rapid antigen test. Fast, reliable results. Make the smart choice for your health and your family. Insist on the brand the healthcare professionals prefer. Cell Life at leading chemists and Amazon. CELLIFE. If you eat too much junk food or drink too many sugary drinks, toxic fat can build up around your vital organs, releasing dangerous levels of chemicals that bring heart disease, type 2 diabetes and cancer closer. When you think of toxic fat around your vital organs, making some small changes like eating less junk food or drinking less sugary drinks is no big deal. Visit sa.livelighter.com.au today. A message from the Government of South Australia.
Well, Woody, that's Justin. He's the dealer principal out there at Barossa Volkswagen. Him and the whole team believe a real test drive should not include traffic jams.
No.
Come up to the Barossa, grab one of their great Volkswagens and take it for a fang.
Oh,
not a spin, a fang.
Cruise around in beautiful environment of the Barossa. And
do it in, that's right.
You can take the car home at night time if you want, and they've got the all-new Tiguan. But demo models. This is the great thing about this. A demo model is new beauty, all fueled up, ready to go for the best road test you'll ever take in the beautiful Barossa.
I bought a Touareg from Barossa Volkswagen. Best, I've told you 100 times.
You love it.
They're the best cars. So whether it's that or an Amarok or you've said the Tiguan. And the great thing as well is you need to take it back for a service.
Yes.
So again, long weekend, short weekend, any weekend, Barossa Volkswagen have you covered with genuine care, country hospitality, every time you visit.
Absolutely. Barossa Volkswagen City Service, Country Fields.
Hurry into Decor Extras for a massive lighting clearance sale. Save up to 80% on floor lamps, table lamps and pendants, including lighting shades, from just $5 to $50. So rush into Decor Extras now. 48 Henry Street, Stepney.
When you're gone, who gets the things most precious to you? Like your grandfather's war medals or your mother's cherished piano that was passed down to you. If you don't have a will, you'll never know. Donlan Lawyers specialise in wills and estate planning. From the simplest to the most complex, Donlan Lawyers will give effect to your wishes. For wills and estate planning, visit donlanlawyers.com. Hindmarsh Square, Adelaide, and Ocean Street, Victor Harbour. DonlanLawyers.com.
Unleash your vehicle's power beyond limits at Battery World, your trusted battery experts. To discover our exclusive range of FIVEAA automotive batteries, we also test, fit and deliver. Visit us in store or online today. Battery World, power your passion.
Your daily cup of OTR just got a whole lot richer. Buy NEC coffee for a chance to win $1,000 daily when you scan the OTR app. And September 2, T's and C's apply. SAT 25/835. OTR. Serving up seriously good coffee.
The 5AA Sports Show with Rowey and Timmy G.
3 minutes to 6, taking your calls. The retired Thunderbirds skipper and Hannah Petty to join us at 6 o'clock. And you can catch the 5AA Interactive Lounge tomorrow afternoon with Leith Forest and representatives of the Donate Life SA, who'll be discussing organ and tissue donation, raising awareness and supporting families across our state. So don't miss that tomorrow, Arvo, with Leith. Here's the CEO of the West Coast Eagles, Don Pike.
Looking at our numbers, whether it be games won, quarters won, percentage over the last 5 years, we find ourselves right in the position where, if you apply it across the clubs who've recently received assistance, we're well and truly in the window for that. And so, we'll have those discussions and we'll look to proceed with some sort of request.
Well, they're on track to collect their second wooden spoon in 3 years, and they've won 11 games across the past 4 seasons. So, you're right. That's Don Pike, the CEO, former Crows coach. I just think putting your hand out for a handout is un-Australian, and it's weak, and especially weak when you have a system where there's a salary cap and a draft, everyone's equal, and it's even worse when it comes from a club like that. It's got 150 million
They're
sitting
the
in the
richest
tin
clubs,
tank.
just clearly by a mile.
Welfare, not a fan of it. Never
I'm a
have
no,
been.
Stephen.
It's a no.
It's a no.
It's a firm no.
It's a too bad, too sad.
Too bad, too sad.
Go away, Pikey.
Have you say 8223 0000. 6 o'clock news.
The 5AA Sports Show with Rowey and Timmy G.
Baby on board sticker, Play-Doh under his nails, random rubber duck in his pocket. Mark's not exactly what you picture when I say property investor. But all that changed the day he did a quick online equity check with Westpac. And would you believe it? He had enough in his current home for a deposit on another one. And you might too. Search Westpac Equity Calculator today to find out if an investment property is something you're already ready for. Conditions, credit criteria, fees and charges apply.
Indulge in a breathtaking journey from India's Golden Triangle to the serene beauty of Seychelles with Imagine Cruising and Phil Hoffman Travel. Begin with a week in 5-star luxury in India, followed by a 16-night all-inclusive cruise with Azamara from Singapore to the Seychelles. Relax on pristine beaches, snorkelling crystal clear waters and rejuvenate in tropical paradise. 30-night packages include flights from Adelaide from $10,999 per person. Visit pht.com.au.
Complete Windscreens, home of the Big Red Koala. We're a 50-year-old family-owned business that is now an RAA-approved repairer. So for chip repairs, supply and fit windscreens, tinting and ADAS calibration, make sure you tell your insurer or fleet manager you want Complete Windscreens on the job. For emergency glass repairs, contact Complete Windscreens for the best price, quality and same-day service. CompleteWindscreens.com.au, 220 Main North Road, Prospect, home of the Big Red Koala.
Up-to-the-minute news for South Australia. This is 5AA News. Always Adelaide.
Partly cloudy tonight and tomorrow, a high of 15. With the 6 o'clock news, I'm Kendall Brettig. The world's largest earthquake since 2011 has triggered tsunami waves in Russia, Japan and Hawaii. Indonesia, Tonga and Papua New Guinea are also anticipating larger than average waves as a result of the magnitude 8.8 quake in Russia's east. Millions of people in coastal areas have been evacuated. Police say it's lucky no one was killed when a minibus crashed down an embankment in the New South Wales Hunter Valley, derailing a couple's wedding day. The 56-year-old groom and one of his groomsmen were seriously injured when the van rolled at Mount View, not far from the wedding venue. 3 other groomsmen and the bus driver suffered minor injuries. Police Superintendent Steve Laxer says it's a tragic situation, but it could have been worse.
And it hadn't actually got to the wedding yet, so they still have a wedding in front of them, but we're very fortunate that the injuries wasn't fatal.
A former New South Wales police officer will not serve jail time for the fatal tasering of a 95-year-old woman. Josh Bryant says an appeal against his original sentence has been dismissed.
Christian White remained silent as he left court after learning he won't spend time behind bars for the manslaughter of Claire Nowlan, who was fatally tasered at a Cooma nursing home. The Court of Criminal Appeal unanimously dismissing the legal challenge against his 2-year community correction order, noting while at first blush the sentence may be considered lenient, that does not render it manifestly inadequate or plainly unjust. A lawyer for the Nowlan family says they're grateful to the Director of Public Prosecutions for bringing the appeal and that they're now taking time to consider the outcome.
And obviously they'll need to consider why the court's arrived at the decision that it has.
Thomas Foods International is cutting production at its Lobethal facility, blaming the drought. The company is reducing processing to a single shift amid lower livestock supply. It says employees will be offered work at other sites, including Murray Bridge, and it'll focus on keeping job losses to a minimum. Shadow Primary Industries Minister Nicola Centofanti says it's a harsh reality of the drought.
Many farmers were forced to destock significantly quite early just to survive, and that short-term flood of supply into the market may have masked the crisis for some time, but I think now we're really seeing the real consequences. We know that livestock numbers have crashed right across the state.
The Albanese government has described the latest inflation data as outstanding, but the opposition says that's just tone deaf. Michael Packey reports.
Consumer prices rose 2.1% for the year to June, their slowest pace in 4 years. Treasurer Jim Chalmers says it's a sign the government's economic policies are working.
Today's inflation numbers are outstanding. There's no two ways about it.
But the opposition has used question time to claim Dr Chalmers is grandstanding while many households are struggling. Liberal leader Susan Lee says prices for everyday items are still rising.
The cost of eggs has increased by 34%, the cost of bread by 18% and the cost of cereal by 17%.
The Reserve Bank will take the latest data into account when the board holds its next interest rate meeting in August.
And Google has cancelled a planned event at Federal Parliament as the government plans tougher restrictions for its platform YouTube. The video sharing app will now be included in Australia's social media age ban, despite previously getting an exemption. Parents who've lost children to suicide had gathered at Parliament to discuss the decision. Google says out of respect for them, its networking event will not go ahead. Now turning to 5AA sport, and Port Adelaide is another player on the injury list for the rest of the season. Miles Bergman will undergo an arthroscopy on his shoulder to clean out the joint and alleviate ongoing pain.
I felt a crunch in the last showdown, and since then it's been real niggly. I wanted to play it out as long as I could, but it's just got to the point where myself and the club decided it was a bit too much and try and get ready for next year.
Collingwood has stepped up its pursuit of a free agency target. Jordan Tunbridge reports.
The Magpies aren't hiding their interest in Jack Silvani. Coach Craig McRae meeting with the Blues star to discuss his future.
Worked out we had a first date and see if we liked each other.
Did you like each other?
Yeah, I could go on a second date with Jack.
Collingwood reportedly tabling a 4-year deal for the 27-year-old utility who's out of contract at season's end. Meantime, Hawthorn midfielder Jai Newcombe has agreed to one of the longest deals in the AFL. The reigning best and fairest winner now committed to the Hawks for the next 7 years.
Thunderbirds goalie Romelda Aiken-George has called time on her decorated career. She played 245 games across 3 clubs in her 18 seasons, winning 4 premierships and multiple league MVP awards. And Adelaide United will wear black armbands in tonight's Australia Cup round of 32 match against Newcastle Jets as a mark of respect for Tony Ferrugia. He played a pivotal role in the formation of the club in 2003 and has passed away after a long illness. Now I'm checking 5AA traffic.
G'day there at Hackney Carvey Barrier, Hackney Road near North Terrace, West Richmond, a smash, Marion Road near Lane Street, delays Kooring, which is good, and at Payneham got a breakdown getting cleared, Port Race Road near Rosella Street. Busy South Road, Edwardstown, quite slow, Tapley's Hill Road, Glenelg North with a camera Wakefield Road in the Parklands. Power up Android on Telstra. Discover great deals on a range of Android devices on Australia's best mobile network. Visit Telstra in-store or online today. Adelaide's most accurate traffic on 5AA.
Get the Toyota Forklift Advantage. Visit toyotamaterialhandling.com.au.
A cold night down to 5 and partly cloudy tomorrow, 15. Cloudy again on Friday, 15. Partly cloudy Saturday down to 14 and then sunny for Sunday, 17. At the moment, 11. Now let's hear what's happening on 9 News tonight.
Thank you. I'm Kate Collins. Tonight's headlines. A bone fragment found in a search for missing girls Joanne Ratcliffe and Kirsty Gordon has been handed to police. A car has plunged off a cliff at Hallett Cove, crashing onto the rocky beach below, and inflation figures are continuing to slow. And don't worry, you haven't missed the news. Start over on 9 now as soon as you're home.
Deliver more with Toyota, the world's #1 forklift brand. Choose from a great range including pallet jacks, walkie stackers and reach forklifts, right up to their leading Toyota counterbalance forklifts. Legendary reliability and safety with cleaner, greener electric options. Toyota can tailor the right forklift solution for you. It's all part of the Toyota Forklift Advantage. For more, visit toyotamaterialhandling.com.au.
Get a Toyota forklift.
Are you a licensed tradie? Open a trade account today and get super low trade prices on Australia's biggest brand air conditioners, like Fujitsu, Panasonic and Mitsubishi, at any Mannix warehouse sales outlet. We have a huge range of splits, ducted and spare parts that are all in stock and ready to go. And with 4 locations at Salisbury, Clifton, Lonsdale and Findon, it's so easy. Everything air conditioning from the SA name you know and trust.
Stay informed, get involved. 5AA, always Adelaide. The 5AA Sports Show with Rowey and Timmy G.
8 after 6, Wednesday night, which means Charlie Dixon's Driving with Dixon coming up on 5AA at 6:30 this evening. Still plenty to come on the show. We'll talk to SANFL Players Association President Matt Crocker very soon, former Sturt player. And in a moment, we'll chat to Hannah Petty as well. And we're calling on you to help 5AA shine a light on remarkable SA people aged 70 and over. We're on the search for 7 sensational South Australians over 70. If you know someone who's a friend or a neighbour who's achieving and leading and inspiring, we'd love you to nominate them at the 5AA website, 5AA.com.au. Recognise their amazing contributions. All thanks to 5AA and ECH. If you want more retirement living and home care service choice from the one provider, get more choice with ECH.
Well, some sad news. Our Adelaide Thunderbirds, we know, didn't get the three-peat after going back-to-back. They got knocked out in the elimination final. And unfortunately, since then, we've had some very sad news. After 10 seasons, 6 as captain, 110 games, a dual back-to-back premiership captain, Hannah Petty hangs up the bid. G'day, Hannah.
Hello, boys.
This is sad news. You can't be up and about for this. I know you do that regularly and you're very good at it, but I've got, if I had an emoji, it'd be one of those really sad faces with the tear hanging on the cheek.
Yeah, look, it is sad news, but I guess on my behalf, I knew it was time for me personally to hang up the bib, as you said, and I'm looking forward to what's next, but definitely going to miss pulling on the pink dress every weekend.
At 28, I'm like, why? Can you tell us the reasons why you think it's time to hang up the bib?
Oh, mentally, I had given my all, essentially. I think it's been a long 10 years, and some people might say I've got more in me, but at the same time, I'm excited to become a school teacher and move on with my life and see what else is out there. And, that's just where I'm at the moment.
Oh, you'll be awesome at it.
You know what? Superstars and stars know when it's time. You're going to hang it up with icons like Catherine Harvey-Williams and Nat Von Berto and yourself, and its elite company as dual premiership captains, Hannah. That must make you proud.
Oh, it certainly does. I still feel somewhat uncomfortable being mentioned with those two names, as they are icons of not just the Thunderbirds, but also the Diamonds as well. And, yeah, look, it's pretty special to be put in the same sentence as those names, but at the same time, I haven't really reflected too much on it yet either.
Yeah. I was going to say, have you had time for it to sink in? Because you can make a decision and it sits and then it can sit well and it can sit not bad. Do you have no regrets? You're fully comfortable with what you're doing, Hannah?
Yeah, I definitely am. I'm fully comfortable with the decision I've made. I know it's right, and I'm just really looking forward to not having to do another pre-season again, in all honesty.
Yeah. I must admit, when you first retire, that's the first thing you do not care about. All right, pre-season.
Until they play again.
Yeah, when they play. That's the hardest moment to watch, and I would suggest probably not watching for a while. But I didn't realise you're an EP girl, Eyre Peninsula, Woodner. I didn't realise that. How good. I love that part of the world.
Yeah, it's a special part of the world, and a lot of hours travelling in my early years of trying to get to the top level. But excited to be spending hopefully some more time back over there and catching up with family and friends. So it's a beautiful part of the world that everyone should go visit.
And then you came through into Adelaide, and the Tango Netball Club was where you I suppose you built your foundation. That's a terrific story too. Would you ever go back and play a game for them?
Oh, I think my netball playing days in Adelaide are over, but they are a great club, and they definitely gave me a great opportunity to, at the Premier League competition, to be able to show my stuff and ideally, hopefully get picked up by the Thunderbirds, which is what I did.
Yeah, 10 seasons, 6 as captain, 110 games in the end. Now, Hannah, you spoke earlier that you're a school teacher, so you're clearly studying whilst being a professional athlete. Are you qualified? Have you got a placement?
Yeah, no, fully qualified. So it took me 9 years, but I finally got there at the end of last year. And, I guess it makes probably this stage now going into a job and knowing that I can get a job after a qualification a bit easier. But, it was a good balance to be able to distract, not just netball. Everything wasn't netball. It was a bit of school teaching on the side as well. Good.
Primary, secondary,
middle,
phys ed, maths. You strike me as being an English teacher, Hannah.
Oh, not at all.
I knew that.
Definitely heavily PE side.
Yeah.
Oh, well played.
Imagine being a little kid, PE, and guess who comes out?
Hannah.
With a whistle. Hannah
awesome.
Petty.
How good. Hey, who you reckon might be in line for the captain's bib from here?
Oh, look, I think there's a great group of girls within the leadership group at the moment, and probably some that can step into it as well. I'm interested to see who's going to fill the shoes, and I know they're going to do a great job. So, look, I'm excited to see who the club chooses and goes from there.
All right.
Now, we've just had a little sneaky text. You read it, Timmy. You read it.
Okay. Watch this space. Hannah Petty sounds like she's going to change codes. AFLW might be the go there. We've got rumours already about you, Hannah.
Absolutely not. Sorry to burst the bubble of that. I just said I'm looking forward to no pre-season.
Yeah, good call. Good call, Hannah. I love you. Hey, you had a lot of young'uns in your team that I do like, and even Georgie Hodges is only 22, but there's young Frew, Kayla Graham. I saw Sam Marie Visser play. We've got good depth coming through as far as those young'uns and being the next Hannah Petties, haven't we?
Oh, we absolutely do. I think we're in a great state at the moment in netball here in South Australia, in the fact that a lot of them are South Australians in the team as well, and they're only going to get better with time on the court. I mean, Georgie Hodges has already won the top song, I guess you could say, in last year, so she's only going to get better with age, and the future's just so bright. I can't wait to see what they turn into, and I'll be happily watching from the stands.
Well, your record's outstanding in that 10 years. Your coach can have the last words here. You leave a legacy built on integrity, grit and heart. And you know what? Three better words as an athlete couldn't be spoken. That's Hannah, lovely. Well done.
Oh, Hannah, just before you go, did Romelda announce her retirement?
Yeah, so she's just come out in the last hour or so. She's just announced her retirement as well. And honestly, the list of things that she's done in the 18 seasons at the top level is remarkable. And I can't wait to see what she does in the future, but she's an icon of netball for sure. Did you say copycat dirty rat? Did you say that or not? She got in second, mate. You, as usual, you're number one. I don't know about that. She's pretty good. She's had an amazing career, and so did you, Hannah. Really appreciate it. We love talking to you on the show. We hope that you're not a stranger because we really do like your company on here, and well done in your career. It was outstanding. Thank you so much. Thanks for having me on. The lovely Hannah Petty.
hangs up the bib for the Thunderbirds, and she'll go down as one of our greats ever.
Well,
and she will be mentioned in those names like Catherine Harvey-Williams and the great Nat Bomberta.
2 captains.
Correct.
Just incredible. Very humble. She didn't want to be put in that elite company, but she does, and she sits comfortably in it.
Good Woodner girl. There you go.
Outstanding stuff, and a great person. It's 16 after 6.
The 5AA Sports Show with Rowey and Timmy G.
Calling all car fans. Need your weekly motoring fix? Join me, Charlie Dixon, Wednesday nights from 6:30 for Driving with Dixon. We talk about all things motoring, cars, car events, racing, anything motoring.
Enjoy your outdoor area all year round with an opening and closing roof designed, manufactured and installed locally by Louver House.
So join me Wednesday nights for Driving with Dixon. Only on $13.95, Adelaide's 5AA.
What kind of future do you dream of for your child? Catholic schools offer affordable, quality education and nurture values that last a lifetime. Every child is welcome in a supported and caring environment. During Catholic Schools Open Week, August 4 to 10, you can book a tour to come see and feel the difference. Visit the Catholic Education South Australia website to find a school near you. Catholic Education, raising hearts and minds.
Hello, Frank Walker from National Tiles. The National Tiles famous annual winter spend and save is on now. Spend $4,000 will only charge you $2,750, or spend $2,000 will only charge you $1,450, or $1,000 will only charge you $750. Don't miss the National Tiles famous annual winter spend and save on now. So rush into a National Tile store near you, or go online at nationaltiles.com.au now and save. Conditions apply.
Unleash your vehicle's power beyond limits at Battery World, your trusted battery experts. Discover our exclusive range of FIVEAA automotive batteries. We also test, fit and deliver. Visit us in store or online today. Battery World, power your passion.
Something wild, cool and sophisticated has arrived in SA. JCU, selling a new SUV, and only at Morfett Vale, Main South Road.
Direct from London's West End comes the moving and powerful story of Simon and Garfunkel. The songs that evoke an era.
Within the sound.
Don't miss the Simon and Garfunkel story. Playing matinee and evening shows at the Norwood Concert Hall. Wednesday, August 20. Book now at Ticketek and the SimonandGarfunkelStory.com.
Introducing the Caliente by Beechwood Homes. A multi-level masterpiece of design, innovation and style. Inspired by the effortless glamour of Palm Springs in California, it's bathed in natural light through clever architectural design. At its heart, a stunning 6-metre island bench anchors a kitchen that's as beautiful as it is functional. The Caliente is open for viewing at 10 Simon Crescent, Craigburn Farm, Saturdays and Sundays 1 to 4:30 p.m. Life's good. It's even better in a Beechwood home.
On the Cow IQ test, Fluorio milk cows come in at around 100, pretty much the national average. But when it comes to the milk our SA cows produce, it's unmatched. You don't need to be a cow Einstein to produce some of the best milk in the country. You do need the perfect grazing conditions, and the milk needs to be bottled on site and on shop shelves within hours. It doesn't get any fresher, any better, or any more SA than Fluorio Milk Company.
Rowey and Timmy G, the 5AA Sports Show.
20 after 6, Driving with Dixon coming up at 6:30. And Football SA's Carl's Junior Cup finals are coming to Service FM Stadium at Jeps Cross this Sunday. So if you want to head along, it's a fun day of Junior Cup finals action. Follow the results online if you like. Gold coin donation on entry. It all goes to Childhood Cancer SA.
It's a good setup out there.
It is. Let's go to our next guest, the Sample PA president. His name is Matthew Crocker. It's based on player
the premiership player?
Yeah, he is, and player pay, I guess. Matty, thanks for your time.
Thank you. Thanks, Rory. Thanks for having me.
Now, where are you at with the Sample PA? And the other thing on that is you've produced a report.
Yeah, that's right. So I guess as you guys know, we've been at this for a little while, but the great thing is we've had lots of positive discussions with the Sample. But I think the main thing is that, you know, the players are really galvanised behind the PA. You know, they care about the future of the competition and they want to partner with the SANFL to grow the game. You know, we recently met with the SANFL off the back of that report that you mentioned. And what I can really sense is that we're moving towards, you know, discussions where we need to get SANFL clubs, players sitting around the same table to discuss, you know, a shared vision for the future of the comp.
So what are the big takeouts from the paper?
Yeah, so we produced this report off the back earlier in the year where the players told us that their number one concern is players' well-being. And so we developed a survey that asked a range of questions around players' well-being. We had 234 responses, so it was fantastic engagement. But the one big finding that sort of came out and jumped out at us was that SANFL players reported their life satisfaction at a rate that's lower than the typical Australian. And, you know, this was a surprise to us given we'd expect players, young men, to report a life satisfaction greater. So there's clearly some work to be done there. The other main finding that came out is regarding what players are paid and, you know, SANFL players are paid on average $8 per hour. And given the response that I've had from some family and friends, I think that this is not actually really appreciated by the public. But yeah, the bigger, well, the subtext to that is that actually over the last 20 years, SANFL players' pay has been going backwards. A SANFL player today is paid half what they were paid 20 years ago, and this in that same period, AFL players' pay has doubled. So, you know, there's work to be done there as well.
Gee whiz, that remuneration, I know there's been a lot of talk, Matty, about the pre-COVID levels trying to get it back to that. Are they any closer to sort of being able to get those levels up?
Yeah, so SANFL and clubs, you know, they acknowledge like us that, you know, players should be paid more. That's something that we agree on. And the bits that hasn't been worked out yet is how do we do that? And so while the SANFL haven't, you know, committed to increasing the salary cap to where it was before COVID, we're certainly having discussions. And I think the important thing is acknowledging that there's an issue here and we've got to work out how to solve it.
With the players, you just said about $8 an hour. Which we know is not very, very attractive rate for any job. But as far as that goes, is there something in perhaps reducing the hours and the commitment of players? Because I don't think, you know, you're talking about the enjoyment level dropping away. I mean, that could force a lot of players out of the game and to other competitions where the commitment isn't as great.
Yeah, absolutely. And, you know, one of the things that also came out of the report is that 80% of SANFL players last year were approached at the end of the season to go and play local footy. And as you point out, that blokes are committing over 16 hours a week, and that's off the back of, you know, working a full-time job. And, you know, some guys are getting paid $8 an hour. But this is something that we've certainly got to talk about. Yeah.
So, Matt, does the SANFL recognise the SANFL PA and the organisation that you're the president of as the governing body that they need to deal with if it was to come to a CBA and all these things? Are you recognised by them?
Yeah, well, I'll come to that point there that you make, that what the players are asking for is the SANFL to adopt industry best practice, which is to sign a collective bargaining agreement with the players. I think the thing that's really excellent now is that we've got this report, we can see that there are issues, and now we've got to have a discussion about what do we want to do. Earlier in the year, at our AGM, had fantastic engagement from the players. The players endorsed that they want a collective bargaining agreement, and they want that agreement to do two things. They want a wellbeing program to be put in place to be able to support players at every single club, and we want the SANFL to commit to a sustainable increase to the salary cap. So the great thing is I feel like we are moving towards getting everyone sitting around the same table and discussing what is this shared vision for the SANFL.
Okay. So is your model very similar to the AFL PA? Do you get any funding from the SANFL? Do you get any funding from the players? Do the SANFL players have to pay to be a member of the SANFL PA?
Yeah, so these are all good questions and stuff that will have to be negotiated. But what we see is that in terms of, say, players' well-being, that's something that the Players Association, we really want to champion that. And so if we are going to do something that is actually going to address players' well-being, well, then, of course, there needs to be a sensible discussion about how that is resourced. So, but your point about the AFLPA as well is that the players, we're realistic. We're not asking for anything that's anywhere near as extensive or as complicated as the AFL Players Association. What we're asking for is just a seat at the table.
So would it be fair to say, Matthew, that you're the president of the SANFL PA and you're doing this in goodwill? You're basically a volunteer? You have the passion to drive this?
Absolutely. I don't think you could do this if you weren't passionate about it. And the fantastic thing is that there's so many SANFL players. There's 5 of us on the board at the minute. But what the thing that really comes through in the report is how much the players care about it. The point you made before about what players are paid. Clearly, players love playing in the SANFL. But what needs is a bit of a reckoning to address some of these issues to make sure that the SANFL can continue to be the second best comp in Australia as it has been for the last 100 years. Yeah, well said. Does the Waffle have this? Do the Waffle have an organisation like the PA? No, they don't. And so, a thing that we have acknowledged with the SANFL and clubs right from the get-go is this is uncharted waters, and so we understand that it is a little bit uncomfortable when there is change, but what we really are trying to emphasise is the opportunity that the SANFL have, to be able to engage the players and benefit from their views to make the competition better. Okay. And you feel there's an appetite from the executive at the SANFL that they want or need a SANFL PA? Yeah, as I said, so we're having some fantastic conversations, but I think the main point is that the players are right behind this, that we want a collective bargaining agreement, and from our perspective, it's a bit of a no-brainer for the SANFL as well to adopt industry best practice. And as far as we're concerned, this is just a part of the progression of the professionalism of the SANFL. We have full-time coaches now. There's been investments in the infrastructure, training, sports science, all those things. But as I mentioned before, for the last 20 years, players' pay has been forgotten and some other aspects. So this is an opportunity to, in some way have a bit of a reset and see what the future looks like. Yeah, well done. Keep up the passion for that, Matthew. Mate, thanks for your time.
Picking up a heavy load there, mate. All the best.
It is.
Thanks, Timmy. Thanks, Rowey. Yeah, well done. Matthew Crocker there, SANFL PA President. And look, there's got to be a willingness and a want from the SANFL to have an organisation like that. If the players do, I'd imagine they'd have to. I remember when I started at the Crows, I reckon it was $50 a year.
Yeah, right, to be in.
Yeah. When it first started, the AFLPA, it was, you had to pay. Yeah. And now a percentage out of your salary goes towards them, and the AFL has a percentage out of their earnings that goes towards them.
It's a massive beast now at that level, but never been at this level, I don't think. But you imagine back in the 70s if a Johnny Wynn got hold of it or something like that, it would have been a very interesting thing. It is a heavy load, but Matt Crocker, the way he played his footy, if he's in it, I'll tell you what, he'll do it very, very well.
He spoke with passion.
Great stuff. Hey, it is time for us to go. 6:30. Driving with Dixon is coming up next, but tomorrow night it's team selection ahead of Friday night footy.
Rowey and Timmy G on the 5AA Sports Show.
We've talked at length on this program about the lack of traction the